Shalom, Salama, Siemi, Shalom. Greetings to all my Israelite brothers and sisters from around the world. Whether you're the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the house of Israel, or you are a Gentile grafted into the house under the blood of Yahusha HaMashiach, I welcome you this morning because we have some things to discuss, family. This is a discussion. Let me go ahead and get this YouTube algorithm up. Discussion, thievery, ooh, ooh, ah, ah, ha, 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 ha. Sorry, I got to do it for the algorithm. AI, do your thing to broadcast this on out. Hee haw, hee haw. Oh, we got some things to discuss, family. First of all, I want to say shout out to the Watchman and Deborah. Yeah, there's a lot of ministries that I look at, I'll peruse. I don't really give a whole lot of accolades, but again, from the spectrum of the awakening, from the spectrum of the Hebrew community, we have our people far and wide, and we're on different spectrums of it, and that's okay. But it's interesting to see how, as a people, we are aligning and we understand. Look, we see the ramifications of what is happening around the world. And let me tell you, it's all because of us. Do not get it twisted. Yesterday, I was watching Canadian Prepper, and they were saying a few things. I don't see like what he'll publish today. I kind of catch those things, so I always lag behind in his most current videos. But he had mentioned that there was a commenter that said, what if this was all a big game, a big planned event? And so the Canadian Prepper, as someone carnally minded, all he could do was respond in the carnal. And I had to think about that's what the Most High had said, that he would confound the wise and he would make ignorant the knowledgeable. And this is what we see scriptures playing out, because the wise men are confounded because they really can't understand what's happening. What is happening? Why is this thing happening? What is going on? And we have been saying this. We have awakened. We understand who we are. We understand we're the Most High's children. And so the Most High has a plan to get us out of our captivity, slowly but surely. But the wise of this world, the wisdom of this world has blinded them, and they don't understand what's happening to them. They really don't see what is going on in front of their eyes. Brother Michael, yeah, or Michael Raya, as the screen name is. Brother Michael called me or texted me, said, Karis, are you seeing this? I said, no, seeing what? And he shows me the link, and it was Deborah redirecting going on, and you could hear in her voice how happy she was. You can hear, you understand, family? You can hear the excitement in our voices, but also at the same time, it's like a cautious excitement. I'm I'm aware. I see, but I can't be too giddy. I can't be too happy because we don't know what's going to really start moving at this point. Remember, when their back is against the wall, they strike out. A dying animal strikes out. Shout out to Sister Chantel and her family that was in some British theme park riding roller coaster ride. She had sent me that. And I thought that was funny. I said, you know, I was thinking about that and thinking about this morning. I said, the world is on a roller coaster ride. And all they're doing is just going up and up and up, and they're waiting for that drop to hit and their stomachs to get in their throat. And all we're going to be doing is looking at them, telling them, we told you so. Don't act surprised now. Brother Michael, what is going on?
Hey, I'm right. Shalom this morning. I was just like what you said. I'm like, man, I'm gonna sit back for a moment. I'm gonna watch this first. I ain't nobody trying to get all that excited. I'm like, ain't no telling about this stuff. And I like, wait a minute. And she kept on going, and so I started looking at some other news feed. Like, oh,
Hmm.
this is up on something. And that's when I started texting you.
Yeah.
And man, had all of and about I would say 80% of Africa was lit up in red. That told the United States to get out.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to. So the video, it is on Redirecting's channel. Someone could put that in the chat so they have some clarity of the live that she did last night. And that was a telling graphic. That was a telling graphic to see the amount of nations. And so I'm just referencing the graphic. I'm not sure to the validity. I like to check things on over, but the graphic was showing that there was some sort of a Russian military agreement of sorts. I don't know how that agreement would play out, if it's an agreement in just ammunition, security. I don't know. So I can't tell you all of the full validity to that. However, there were agreements signed, and it looked like on that graphic, as Brother Michael had just said, it was about well over 80% of the countries, 80% of the nations on the continent had some sort of an agreement or military agreement with Russia. Thank you, Brother Ninja Wolf, for sharing that link.
Mhm. And then I was looking at this also, Karis, was the scriptures, do not disobedience. Yah said we will not have the strength to lift our heads up,
Hmm.
during that curse. And it seems like it appears the way uh the brothers in Africa just, you know, they lifting up their heads, and it
Yes.
seems like the West is dropping their heads. It's like we're hemmed up, we're messed up,
Hmm. Hmm.
something is bad is about to happen. But it seemed like Babylon is in this. What do Sister Sharp say when you when she what did she call it when you just spin? What is she? What's the word she used?
They're in a swirl.
They in a swirl. They are literally in a swirl, Karis.
Yes.
They are in one. And
Hmm.
man, I'm like the way they coming at the West. It's it's like Mm-mm. And they just the brothers there are hitting it. It's like, no, we're not playing with you all. These
No,
days gone. Mm.
no, absolutely not. And that really begged the question that I had on my mind, family, and I said we have to discuss this. And if you see the thumbnail and the graphic, there's a reason for the thumbnail and there's a reason for the graphic. I wanted to kind of put that in the context. Okay. You see the minerals and then you see the people. Let me kind of explain this thing to you all, family, of why you see the minerals and you see the people. Because now when they're getting their minerals under control, guess what? Guess what? The- After you address the thievery of the minerals. Do you understand this, family? Do you understand where I'm going with this? After you address the thievery of the minerals, then you have to address the thievery of the people. There is a natural, logical progression that is going on, and we're seeing that happen right now. Yes, beneath the surface, it is game over because now you're understanding how this goes. I have the link up, family. It is pinned. If y'all want to jump in, into this conversation, and because I'm interested to hear what folks have to say.
Yeah.
This
Get
is
they get they their take on it. I mean, yeah.
hmm because this is something, family. That listen, look. If you don't understand, that's a quick turnaround. Remember in um, February, March, you had the vice president of the United States going on the so-called Africa tour. Now, in less than 6 months, this is what you have. I'm wondering, family. I wish Jacoba would jump on here.
Yeah, you know what, bro? I kid you not. I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking the same thing.
Somebody get Jacoba or tell you on here because this is interesting. You
I'm
know what I'm
just trying.
saying?
I'm trying to understand what Ninja Firewolf is saying from the comment. Yes, a white woman shows the same thing, but she said that God told her that Russia and those nations would attack Israel. We know she meant those people on that land.
I,
Paris Copeland at Michael Raya. Uh, I don't
yeah,
understand.
yeah, I understand what you're saying, Ninja Firewolf, but she's gotten the context wrong. It is God versus Magog. It is the fight against of the Ashkenaz variety. That's what it is. And they don't understand that's what it is, but that's the context in terms of how it has to be put for them. Because if you don't really understand what you're looking at, then you have to look at it in the lens of what you know. So if it's being revealed, the problem is that people don't want to understand who it's really talking about. And when you do the drill down, this is why these discussions. Shout out to brother Dante, where he's going to talk about Mike Brown tonight and those discussions.
Man, I heard that nonsense he was talking.
But you
Oh,
get what I'm saying. He
yeah,
you heard the nonsense, but what he said was partially true, not all the way true. Right?
yeah,
There's
exactly.
there's there's partial truths to that. However, no, they didn't just get whited all the way out. No, there was slavery that was in there, and there was blood, just like here. It's just like here. It was a bloodline thing. Doesn't mean that, that was a derivative or that was a whole um nation. Absolutely not. It was a derivative. Yeah, more than likely from, of course, raping, torturing, pillaging, all that other good stuff. Sorry, I don't want to have YouTube hit that algorithm from the R word.
Man,
But yeah,
I,
go ahead.
I hope somebody can get in contact with your code. Yeah, I'm serious. They gonna be like, go be like, and they said ain't no 400 years.
Oh no, it's 400 years, and I had to think about this. I had to think about this. We're getting ready to come up on 3.5 years since the cookie
Mm-hmm.
hit the shores of the U.S. That happens in less than 4 weeks. We hit that anniversary. 3.5 years, family.
Mm.
I think, to be honest, that's very significant. In my
Yeah.
book, that's very significant.
Mm.
Shalom, Ben Jacob.
You're on mute, brother. He on mute. I don't know if he hears us. Mm.
Well, go ahead, Ben Jacob, whenever you're. All
Oh,
right, he dropped. Yeah. So it's interesting that we're hitting that 3.5 year anniversary. And all of these things are happening. Yeah, of course, a new variant is about to come out. Because why? Because things are happening. Oh, snap.
yeah.
The
You got
continent's
you got
waking up.
yeah,
So
you got
now we need to release another bioweapon.
we didn't see this coming.
We have to release another
Yeah.
pharmakia because the continent is waking up. Do you all get this? Are we all now realizing what's happening? And once you realize what's happening, the cat is out the bag. It's not anything that's unusual. Stop. All right, we're going to get another hit because why? Because now the minerals are going to be hit. It was the people first, and now the minerals. So now what are they doing? They got to do, to me, this is my opinion, they got to do another reduction cycle. Because why? Because the lack of minerals means that that's the lack of life support for the people. And if you can't support the people, then guess what you have to do? You have to call the numbers. Oh, that sounds extreme, Karis. Okay, well then tell me exactly what happened in 2020, in 2021. When we started waking up. Oh, we started waking up, time to take some folks out. And now they're going to have to directly take their people out. Because why? Because there's going to be their people directly affected by the lack of resources. Sister Deborah, y'all nailed it. She nailed it. She said, look, they spent billions of dollars to build that pipeline.
Oh yeah.
she said, she said, them billions of dollars went down the drain.
Everything like,
And
wait a
then she
minute.
said,
Hey, hey, Karen, she said,
that had me rolling. I'm sorry, that had me rolling.
she
Billions
said,
of dollars down the drain.
the brother said, wait a minute, this thing is going through our land. Keep them nice and cozy. No, 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 no. We gonna sell this to them. I mean, but this is what they did. And then when they broke it all down, they said if it wasn't Africa, it was Russia. And I did not know that Russia is still feeding the United States energy.
Yes. And they
That's
and they
bruh.
sanctioned Russia on everything except for uranium. Okay, here comes the next release. Here
Russia
comes the next variant. It's on its way. Because why? Because these folks are going to be either starving or freezing to death, and they got to consolidate that energy.
that is crazy. You
You,
hemmed up any which way you turn.
mm-hmm.
And they're still arrogant with it. I mean, man, it just kind of blew me when I found out that they're still getting energy from Russia. I'm like, wait a minute, you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I went into some of everything. They kept on saying the same thing. They're getting it from Russia. They're getting it from Russia. They said the United States is so reliant on other countries, and they thought Africa was the lick.
Yep. Yeah. That listen, if you don't understand, our crops are being decimated here. If you hadn't even seen what was going on in Palm Springs look like to me, Palm Springs look like regular roads in Tanzania with all that mud and all that dust. I said, is that Tanzania in the background? No lie, because it was just all that mud, all that dust just messed up the roads. And it's going to be like that for a minute. And that's this is where we're at in the West. Yeah, brother Asaph, England's not immune either.
Yeah, Anglo, that Anglo thing they got going on, they gonna get it too.
Now understand this, because this brings up another great point. Now understand this. They were always trying to say, right? Well, Africa relies on the West. And actually, that narrative was the most false red herring narrative ever to have existed in man. And it was always the other nations that had to rely. So here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing. The EU is trying to put sanctions on Niger, right? But they don't tell you how much the EU is reliant on resources from Africa. That's to me, that's lunacy. Straight up lunacy. Oh, we're gonna sanction you. You understand? They're so arrogant and their vanity has reached the heavens that they're literally cutting off their nose to spite their face.
And that's crazy.
They're cutting off their nose to spite their face, and they can't even see past it.
Mm, mm, mm. That's
I
crazy.
think I think this is, to me, we're in the most interesting times right now. And honestly, I love it. I love it.
Had all of Africa lit up in red. Y'all
Uh-oh.
got to
Okay.
go.
Let me before I bring this troublemaker on and let him say something. I, thank you, Yakoba, for showing up, but I gotta lay some ground rules for Yakoba because he'll get this channel D everything. I've already self demonetized myself.
Hey, now let the brother go ahead and bless the channel real quick, bro. Your cold, what's up, brother?
What's up, guys?
All
I
right.
learned to be PC, Karis. I learned to be PC. I won't get you shut down this time.
You're learning. You're learning.
I'm
Not you learn.
learning. I'm
Not you
learning.
learn.
I'm still. I ain't never arrived yet. Now.
you, you, you. What do they call it? You had those relapses.
Yo,
You know what I'm saying? He said. He said I had to get that hit. I had to get that hit, and then brother was scratching. Oh my goodness. So I think about this. Just as I had mentioned earlier, Yakoba. They're first controlling the minerals, and then what I said that the natural progression is once they are in control of the minerals, then they're going to ask for the people. What say you on that?
that's interesting. Uh, so you're saying Africa is taking back their minerals, then they're taking their people back? I think you're right about that. I think you're right about that. And I find it interesting that even a Russian leader said that the whole thing that happened over the last 3 years was to take over the world, for the West to take over the world. And now there's this polar opposite called BRICS, right?
Yep.
And so, if you know the history of the colonizers, there's literally no way they're gonna let this slide.
Mm-mm.
You know, they're not. It's like you broke into Africa and stole all of their money, right? That's how they see it. And Africa gonna take everything back. But once again, shall I say it?
Well, look, there's no what.
No, I wasn't gonna say there ain't no 400-year prophecy now.
Go
I was
ahead,
gonna
go
say
ahead.
I was gonna just say I told you so.
I told you.
I'm
We
just
don't
saying,
we don't want
yeah,
to be arrogant here. Not only we want to
look,
be
look.
we
I'm not being arrogant. This is really for the haters out there, right? Who've been
mm,
bashing me over the years, right? And now everything that we taught is coming to pass. Even the four carpenters. I'm
yep.
like, come on now. I'm not. It's just that when you're pursuing truth, truth
Mm,
always wins. That's my point. I always say that it doesn't matter if I'm right or if I'm wrong. Truth comes out. Truth's gonna win in the end. And Satan is gonna be exposed.
absolutely.
And he's showing himself, man. I mean, it's getting to the point where he's just like flat out bump, open up the
Here,
closet, we coming out. And that's how he's bringing his stuff out, man.
here's my take on this. Also, Europe is getting ready to freeze. They're not going to be able to go into the continent. I don't think this is me. I don't think they're going to do anything on the continent. If they do, it's going to be little small skirmishes like what they tried
Yeah.
last week.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they can't. That I don't think they have a force. That's why they've been so hard up on. Hey, we got to get Mohammed Bazoum back in there. We got to do this. Got to do that. We got to do democracy. All that other stuff, which we know are the key words in the phraseology of white supremacy.
Yeah.
Because let me just tell you, democracy that doesn't work too well for us here.
No.
Let's just be honest. So now they know the keywords. We've been telling them the keywords. Don't go for that mess. It's face or it's fake. It's a fallacy. That's a system of control to make you think that you're doing something for the good. And guess what they do? They go through and they pad the ballots or they miscount the votes. All these other things. Or guess what? Or they'll go on in there and they'll just topple your country.
So, do you think they're gonna allow Europe to freeze?
Who's that?
The powers that be in Europe and the West? I don't
I
think so.
I think they don't want him to freeze. I don't think, to be honest, this is going to be a test of how much their power is waning. I believe they do not want Europe to freeze, but I believe that they don't have any power to not let them freeze.
Well, I would say it like this, bro. For whatever they did to the brothers here and in Europe and in Africa, I say they go freeze.
Hmm.
You know, I'm not being funny about that. Now I seriously believe they're going to freeze. Now,
Hmm.
you mean what? I mean, when I don't think they go freeze the way we think they go freeze because they can take cold. They can take cold. I don't know. Matter of fact, how cold do it get there? Do it get like Chicago cold?
Yeah, it gets Chicago cold.
Oh, all right, all right. Well,
You,
I mean, but I'm looking at the fact that out of the hundreds of years of their selfishness and flat out just didn't care about our brothers and sisters and how they did them. I mean, bro, don't thinking I'm saying this in a evil way. You had hundreds of years to rectify your line of thinking, and you didn't. You didn't rectify your thinking. You did not sit right here and say, you know what we doing to these people is wrong. But the people, they had the mentality, and some of them still do. We need to keep that continent poor.
hmm.
They still have that mentality. We got to keep it poor. Oh, we got to start. So, oh, now here it is. You got another um, lollipop that's about to happen. Now, because now it seems now they got to push this ahead in order to uh, bring in a distraction. We know what's
Hmm.
going on in Africa. We got to get in there. We got to slyly do some things. So we need a distraction. We know their game, and we're those people in Africa. The brothers are waking up to the pimp game that is, and it's like no, and especially when you're talking about dealing with Judah talking about, well, if you want to take it that way, we can go down, we can get in that, we can get into the asphalt.
Hmm.
And that's what seemingly is happening. They just keep on pulling on the coattail of Judah until Judah come out with that staff. Hey, we got to get it on and pop. You see, y'all ain't gonna listen. You're just not gonna listen.
Hmm.
And I think that's where it's getting to you, Cole. That's just me, bro.
Well, here's the thing: these people have no love for us whatsoever, and reality, they don't even care about their own people. And
Say that
you
again. Say that again for the Gentiles in the back. Say that
they
again for the Gentiles in the back.
they don't care about their own people now,
No, they don't.
and they're amassing troops on the Polish and the Lithuanian border, and they told Belarus people in American citizens and stuff to leave Belarus ASAP.
Hmm.
And it
Yes.
just so happens that there's the Korean military exercise happening right now.
Hmm.
I'm just saying the way things look. I think what may happen is it's going to pop off over there in Russia. Because, like I said, when they attacked Russia, it was an indirect attack against Africa, right?
Yes.
Because they had to get rid of the only nation who was able to supply arms and help them to keep the colonizer in check. And
Yes.
now, this is a full-fledged war to take over the planet, which is what happened over the last 3 years. And now, it's they got all of their coins in the bag now, right? They have to do something because BRICS is forming, and they cannot allow BRICS to form.
Nope.
So these people are going to go full-fledged, what they call that, the Samson option,
Hmm.
right? It's either they have it or nobody has it, and
Yeah.
that's what they're thinking. And the Most
It's, it,
High gonna
that's a
say, "I
it's a
have it."
scorched earth policy. That's
Yeah,
what it's called.
scorched earth. Yeah,
Scorched earth.
yeah, and that's what they're gonna do. They that evil. I mean, look at the history. I mean, these are the most wicked people on the history of the world. They
That's
thought
what
Genghis Khan was bad, not compared to these people.
that's what
You,
exactly
you
what I'm
you know
talking
what that reminds me of? Remember Beneath the Planet of the Apes?
Oh
Remember
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, where it's like they prayed to their nuclear god, and I had to think about that. I'm like, they're praying to their arms, right? But that's what they trust in. They trust in their weapons. They trust in all of this stuff, and now they're realizing that their own weapons that they trusted in, they can't defeat them Kinzhal missiles.
about. Mm-mm.
I don't care how much they say, oh, their hyper supersonics are just fake. They've deployed their hyper supersonics, and guess what? You do not hear any. I listened to that intently. How successful were they? And then they don't like to give you, the success. They just like to say, oh, well, 16 out of the 20 missiles had a direct impact. So it's 80% successful. I wouldn't call it like that.
I think the West has a secret weapon, that they're not letting us know about because they didn't. They gave all of the kinetic weapons to Ukraine,
Hmm.
right? Lowered their supply and left themselves supposedly weak. Right now, I don't believe that. I don't think they're that dumb. These people plan things out for centuries, and I think they have a hidden weapon now. Maybe one of those weapons is what happened in Maui, right? I mean, and how effective that is, I don't know because you can't stop that because you can't even see it.
Hmm. Yeah, you're talking about like some sort of space warfare, like satellite type of,
Yeah,
and that's that was the whole thing with back in the '80s with with what Reagan was trying to do. And so, yeah, it may, that could be, but here's actually an issue that they run into. Those hypersonics actually have the capabilities to go into those outer reaches of atmosphere. So the question is then how effective would they be? I honestly look at it like this. I believe that what they thought they had, the Most High gave them the knowledge and understanding to defeat them. It's just that the Most High hasn't given them the, you know, what am I trying to say? The full green light. You get what I'm telling you? It's the full green light that they don't have, that they don't have just yet. And I honestly say this: the reason they don't have that just yet is because these nations are still trying to make their money, no matter how you look at it. I had this conversation, I think, yesterday with some folks at Quest Unite Africa, and I said this: America's dollar will be strong to the day that America is done, to the day that there is no more America. And you want to know why? Because the dollar can be manipulated clear until the very day. That's how this nation works. Because why? Because the dollar is tied to us. We are the ones that make the dollar survivable.
Yeah, you're right.
Until we leave, that dollar is the strongest in the world. Don't think that that dollar is tied to minerals. No, it's not tied to oil. No, it's tied to us. That's why I say it's a logical progression. Okay, well, we're going to control the minerals here because we've waken up. Now, now we know how America works. Black folks may not know how America works because, let's be honest, most of our brothers and sisters are still asleep. So what are we going to do? We're going to get them back. We're going to do what? We're going to form the world's biggest rescue mission. Had we not been saying this on this channel
And I've been saying this to
for a minute,
the Gentiles need to be really sitting in their chairs with their back straight, paying attention. This world do not care nothing about you. This is about Africa and their livelihood. And you're seeing what's going on with Africa. No. They done. 80% of the country was lit up in red as for the West to get out. So now I'm just looking at what's the other place called, Karis, over there? Right next to Dar Tanzania.
Kenya,
No, where the gold mining is at.
DRC,
Yeah, the
Congo.
DRC. The DRC. I think that's the last spot
Mm-hmm.
where the United States has their foot in.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of time before they say, all right, y'all got to go too.
And DRC, let me tell you this family, DRC is all destabilized. It's
Very much.
all destabilized. These folks go over to Tanzania. Now I'm speaking from a Tanzanian. This has been corroborated by a Tanzanian. These folks go on over from from the DRC with this is so sad, with bags of gold
Yeah.
just for a loaf of bread. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Bags of gold for a loaf of bread. They have more gold on the ground than they have bread to eat.
Mm.
Tell me that that's not a. You can't tell me that that's not a problem.
If it
You're
wasn't
that.
for the raccoons, they'd
Oh my
have bread.
goodness.
Uh-huh.
You know
And then
how terrible that is.
and you know the thing about it is, Jacoba and Karis, they got to go down in the hole now, and dig this stuff up, and then come back out of that hole. That hole ain't no 2 or 3, no 5 foot hole. No, we talking about you fell down that hole, you ain't gonna survive. That's
Yeah.
how deep these holes are
Hmm.
for a loaf of bread.
For a loaf of bread.
These niggas that lost. I mean, these
But you
people
know,
done lost their
their
mind.
leaders are threatened with assassination
Mm-hmm.
for if they have their own food security. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them don't grow their own food because they know the West gonna try to take them out. That's how
Yep.
they try to keep them under control.
But then
Yeah.
now answer that there. They hip on that game. These politicians are letting it be known. You sit up here and go tell us how we should accept the alphabet people and how we should do this and do that. You killed our leaders and black leaders in the United States, and you go tell us how we should live? Man, they tired of that dumb stuff. And I mean, it's just like, hey, if you go do some killing, go ahead and bring the killing. Because I think this is one time the brothers over there, like, it's gonna be killed or be killed. That's how this is gonna end up.
Well, that's where we at, right? It's either us or them, and they're trying to take us out globally. A lot of us just don't realize it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I know that folks will say, okay, here's a shameful quip. It is. I don't care. This is what Question Night Africa is all about. This is what the support is all about. We're not just here just saying, well, it's good and it's this is that. Do you understand why this is needed at this time? This is why the enemy is going after this organization because it knows how effective it will be.
Mm.
It
To the
knows.
to the T.
Here's the thing. There's a millionaire out there, a Negro, who listen to this show all the time. You know it's happening, and they could cut you a check and help you do what you need to do. But they're so greedy and so caught up in Babylon, they're not going to do it. But see, when the dollar crash and WW3 kicks off, they're
Yeah.
gonna wish that they helped you put the
Bingo.
things in place that need to be put in place.
You're right.
Bingo. And they're
And,
going and they're going to perish with that worthless behind piece of paper because they're going to find out it's worthless when they could have been investing with their people. They could have been doing something on the continent and the land that would have been fruitful. I mean, fruitful with real fruit, non-GMO. Fruit
yeah.
that actually has a great taste. Oh, and actually keeps you healthy.
And literally everything you could ever want is called the promised land for a reason.
There you go. Exactly. Man, and but the thing about it is, I think what it is, Jacoba, these people are looking at brothers like you and Karis and your brother with these channels, and they still trying to maintain they're trying to get the world to maintain a sense of disrespect. Oh, he's a African American. He don't have no education. He got no background. He just talking outside of his neck. This is what they're trying to get people to form that opinion about these black brothers and black sisters that are standing up, who didn't go to college, who didn't go to seminary school, to say, hey, I can explain the Bible. I've been trained by Babylon. Bro, you crazy. This was happening. They're trying their best to keep you on that low ball, low ball education. But no. When Yah is teaching you, you keep it moving.
Yes.
You keep it moving. I mean, yeah, you and Karis is going to go through some stress that is going to be unbelievable. Because when you start speaking truth, you got daggers coming at you, bro. You know, man, back in the days we used to pop lock Jacoba. You be pop locking, boom, boom. You doing that dodging knives.
You been following me, Mike?
Jacoba be pop locking like Oak Zone and Boogaloo Shrimp. He be pop locking like He be getting that broom on out there like
Hey,
And don't forget breakdancing, Mike.
Hey, jumping up like rerun. Boom. Yeah.
He be looking like Breaking 1 and Breaking 2. That
but man, this is a
I got my broom too, Mike.
You got your what?
I got my broom.
He said he has his broom and his headband. And
Yep.
his headband.
Oh man. No. Yeah, brother. I mean, yeah, the time in which we're seeing this, and you kept to your gun. That's one thing I would say, you Kobe. You kept to your guns. Carrots kept to his guns. The Watchmen, they always kept to their guns, and now their guns are taking a rest. Now the people are saying, "Wait a minute." He was always talking about that 400 years, and this is making a whole lot of sense. These brothers are making a lot. Now, the hold on for a moment. You got all these people on this channel today, and trust and believe. There's some Gentiles on this channel, and they starting to see, oh, this Jacoba. I know I've been listening to him. Karras, I've been listening to him, and they are all on point. They're scared.
Oh, yes, they are. Gentiles, y'all scared. I know.
They're
Listen,
scared.
listen. It's okay to be scared. Okay? Listen. It's okay to be okay. And I know that you're fearful, but I just say this. Pray about it. Ask the Most High to give you direction and give you understanding. And when he does, accept it. Because a lot that happened with us. I was fearful that I was like, oh, I'm an Israelite. I'm Judah. What? I got fearful. Because why? Because I'm like, oh, we're under the curse. And if I say something while we're under the curse, I'm doomed. My family's doomed. I'm gonna get killed. You know, that's all I'm thinking. And then I said, well, Father, I said, I thank you because you revealed this to me, not for me to be scared, but for me to have an understanding of what is to come and what you have for me during this time. And that's where we're all at. Look, we were at a time we had to get on up to open our mouths, raise our voice, do what we needed to do for him because the time still continues to grow and go as prophecy continues to happen. And now the church can't really understand the prophecy because when they tried to do the replacement of replace and edit, copy and edit, it was making no sense. And it still makes no sense to them to this very day of what they're seeing. They're still asking for, well, when's this rapture going to happen? They're still talking about that. This is why I look at it like this. When you look at Jeremiah 50 and it said, look, their men are going to be bending over looking like pregnant women in labor. When you see Zechariah, when you see Daniel, and you're understanding what this Babylon in this generation, in this age, there's not going to be any fight in them. That's literally what the word says.
Yeah.
I believe this. They're going to show on up on these shores, and these folks are just going to drop their guns and just do what they need to do to survive. All right, the boss is here. What do you need?
Hmm.
I believe one of the first edicts is going to be we need all the black folks rounded up. And black folks are going to be panicking. They're going to be scared, not knowing, like, what? Us? Yeah, bring them on over here to these ships. That's what I believe. That's my personal belief. Because why? Because here's the thing: when you are able to take black folks away from things, you take away the hype man. That's the natural hype man. Oh, we could do this. We can fight them on back. We could do this. We could do that. I got your back. Oh, white folks love when black folks, ante up.
Yeah.
you
Uh,
know, I mean, let's just be real.
when they always saying, go back to Africa. The day we go back to Africa, yeah, okay, you keep on running your mouth. Keep running your mouth. Your wish will come true. We could be back in Africa. Mm-hmm. And
And
that's
then
gonna
when
be
that and then when that
that's
happens, Mike, and then when that happens, they're gonna be looking like They're gonna be looking like
Bring those people back. Bring those people back.
they're gonna be looking like do the right thing. I'm black. I'm black.
Yeah, all of them go wish they had a black face. All of them. You talking about tanning pills? Please, man, they gonna be gulping it down like it's alcohol.
Brown,
Yeah,
brown and black shoe polish
you ain't
will be
lying.
sold out.
Sold out.
It'll be
Man,
sold
please.
out.
They talking that dumb stuff. I mean, if you go back and you look at the history, their history. Ooh,
Mike,
man. Mm.
Mike. Every perm and black colored black hair coloring will be sold out, and they're gonna be talking about this is just my jury curl.
Hey, I gotta go buy me some activator.
Every pick with the fist is gonna be gone.
It's go, yeah. They gonna sport that. They gonna sport it.
They're gonna
Back of their
listen.
head.
They go every person that you see that's real dark with the Jerry curl. You're gonna be like, man, I know you white. Stop.
No. I got 3%.
You saw the video where they singing reggae. They're gonna say, "See, I'm black," you know.
Exactly. They're gonna have some messed up Caribbean accent. All right, you can have a messed up Caribbean accent. All right, but go ahead and cook some oxtail. We're gonna find out now. Do you put baking soda in the oxtail? Man, get out of here.
Yeah.
Mayonnaise.
Oh man.
They said, they said, well, I start with a bottle of Hellman's, and I kind of chop like this, correct? Right? A lot of pepper.
And a little raisins.
Boy, Nicole going all in. He said mayonnaise, now it's raisin. He going in on it.
They'll be putting that oxtail in front of you, looking all sorts of jacked up. What is this, man? This sauce ain't supposed to be white.
And Sister Betty gonna have to come and save him. Huh? Sister Betty show him how to do it, how to cook.
They're gonna be showing up to Sister Betty's right there, right now, south of Orlando, trying to figure out how to cook some oxtail.
When they say greens, are they talking about the green grass?
I just picked the leaves outside on the tree. I mean, those are green, right?
Man,
Y'all making me hungry though.
man. But I mean, and then I was looking at the man. Do you see the stuff that was going on in China?
Oh, I know Yakoba sees that.
Man,
The floods and all that stuff.
Yeah, did you see the in the streets, the asphalt? It's some white rocks that was coming up. That was coming up out of the ground, and it's bubbling. It was buckling up the streets, and people moving the asphalt, and they seeing these white rocks. I don't know what the white rocks are. All right, man, I get it. You know, be safe. And I was like, man, what is it? And they had like gushes of water, like they said it was like 4 to 5 feet. And man, I was just trying to figure out. All right, man, what is it that they? I mean, do this judgment supposed to be on China too?
It's just climate change.
Yeah. That's what makes them feel better at night when they say that. It's climate change. All right, if that's what makes you sleep better. If you don't want to know, look, you're going to be climate changed all the way to judgment.
Yeah.
And that's something you're going to have to explain to the Most High.
The Most High said they're going to come and get us without stressed on what they thought was going to happen.
Wow. I mean, now, don't get me wrong now, bro. Now, they are doing some things on that continent. Around here, I'm looking at some of these videos, but they him that guy up. They got him, but he was making videos. This Chinese guy was going over there making videos, sleeping with like 13-year-old little girls over there in Africa. But this sister, she talked to some brothers there, and somehow she went on and she gave off a pretense that she just hated Africans. Can you please make more videos? But there was him and them up, and they got him. They got him.
I remember that. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that Asian kid who was having the kids call themselves monkeys and stuff.
Yeah, but then he was one of the videos. He had two 13-year-old girls, with no topless, and he had his hand on both of their chests. And I'm like, nah, and this dude about 30-something years old. But when we was there, we met with brothers, and the brothers saying they have that problem in their village, and they got these babies that's half Chinese, half black, and the Chinese when they get through making their money, they go back to China, and China does not take in their babies.
No.
So my question is, where are the chiefs? Because they're allowing all this foolishness to happen, and there are people. I'm gonna be honest with you, and some of y'all might get mad, but a lot of the African people on the continent, they're sort of sheepish, like, right? And a lot of us, we're sheep, but I think they're a little worse than us in terms of sheep. Because I mean, even though we were like caught in the matrix, they really caught in the matrix, and they think all these foreigners are their friends. I'm like, if they don't look like you best not trust them. They're there to take your resources, whether it be your physical goods, right? If you know what I'm saying, or your gold and silver and arable land.
You're right, but you're cold, but we was the same way. Our forefathers was the same way.
Yeah.
But what had happened,
but we always had a little fight in us.
There you go. There you go. But our fight got stronger.
Yeah.
Our fight got stronger, and we were like, now we know how you work.
Yep.
We know how you work. We know for a fact we're stronger than you. Only thing that you got on top of us, you got money.
Exactly.
That's the only thing you got on top of us. Outside of that, you done for.
That's like I was watching O'Shea Duke Jackson, right? And they were talking about interracial relationships, and it seems like the African women all for it, right? And because they see the white man coming on a white horse to save Africa from the disease and the infestation that they see in Hollywood movies, and they think that dollar is going to come their way. And all of these foreigners, whether they're white, Chinese, whatever, they come there, they sleep with them, give them babies, and leave, right? And they don't leave them with nothing. I'm like, when they gonna wake up? They need to go back to. First of all, they need to wake up and see who they are, and go back to the laws and stay within their own, right? They're gonna say, well, that's racist. I love everybody. Everybody the same. No, we're not. Everybody not the same. And there's no such thing as equality. Who lied to you but the United States and the West?
Yeah. You know what? Then one thing, they're in Africa, and then with the brothers, you're right when it comes to the chiefs. But when you go to these chiefs, I'm telling you, Chinese are smart. They know exactly they got to go there with goods. They go there with goods. If it go be bags of rice and beans and some liquor, boom, you in. You in. And you
Isn't that how they got us when we went into slavery?
Yeah. They're learning the same things from the European counterparts.
Yes. And they doing the same thing. So now, alrighty, I would equate what's going on there in China to what they're doing in Africa. You over there doing things you ain't got no business doing. Some of these Chinese, one Chinese dude slapped this African guy on a construction site. And that brother went off. He laid hands on him. Then there was another one. He hit this brother, but he was from Nigeria. All it took was one time for him to swing on him.
Yeah,
And
I
that
think
brother,
Nigerians are a little different.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
yeah,
they are.
they're a little bit different. And he went to work on him. He went to work on him. But they're so used to this passiveness that the Africans give off. And
Mhm.
they see this stuff. Oh, he kind of passive.
Y'all
All right.
remember the one where the white guy that was in the hotel and the black guy he worked in the hotel and he was like, "I'm your god, right? And you need to serve me." And he would hit on him.
I saw that.
No, I
Yeah,
got
Yes. Oh man, that was a shame.
and he just let
what
that guy hit on him. Boy, if we were there, oh my
Mhm.
goodness.
Nah, he would have. Nah, I would have thrown him into the tile. He would have broke the tile, and
Yeah.
his behind would have been stuck on that brick. Because I don't play with stuff like that. It would have been like, those you remember those pad drills where you in football, you know, drive your legs. Oh,
Oh yeah.
my legs would have been driving them into that wall.
That's like even the sisters tired of their mess. I saw a video yesterday. The sister was in the grocery store, and this old white man was messing with her. She went, "Bop!" Knocked him down. That dude didn't get back up.
Hmm.
But you seeing things now. You um and it appears that Judah will need to be on that continent to rectify matters. Not saying
I
that,
agree.
you know what I'm saying, to rectify matters in order. Hey, we got Judah back on the continent, and a lot of Africans, they know this. They'll tell you
Hmm.
African Americans do not play.
That's right.
They'll get on there and say, no, it was this comedian, this black sister. She's a comedian. She said this other guy. He said, and if you ever look at some of the videos that these Africans saying talking about African American, they gonna say African Americans know who their enemy is
Yep.
Hmm.
to the T.
Yep.
And they say you cannot tell them anything. It's like she said. This one sister said it's like they got tunnel vision
Yep.
and they can see nonsense a mile away. She said, but the Africans, she think the white. She said they think that the white people are their friend, and they're not. They
Micah
still,
5'8".
yeah, yeah. It was with this one white lady. She was going over there, and she was a nurse. She thought she was a doctor. She started cutting on this little girl. And but this is what the village did. They thought she was there to save. The little girl ended up dying.
Hmm. Yep.
So the African government was looking for her. So she
Hmm.
hightailed it to the United States. They got in contact with the United States. When the United States was about to deport her, she went to another European land. Ain't been seen since.
Hmm.
See, but this is what happened when when we try to get there. They already got this. Well, I ain't gonna say they still have it. Um, they don't see us like they used to see us. Now they seeing that, hey, at least in Dar es Salaam, they seeing how white people live.
Hmm.
They're seeing how the Indians live, and they're
Hmm.
seeing how the Muslims live, and they like they ain't worried about us.
Nope.
They seeing that for themselves now.
Absolutely.
That's the beauty of it. Now we don't have to get up and try to convince them. No, they seeing it for themselves now. They seeing these mixed babies, and at the same time, they got these mixed Chinese babies, and then you have casinos for only for Chinese people.
Yep. I saw that too with my very own eyes. Mike is not lying.
Only for
But these
Chinese.
leaders let them do it.
And they
They
let them
let
do
them
it.
do this. That's the problem. You know, and so, but y'all did say, the leadership that's now, he's going to change all that around. He said that it's going to be the least person who's going to take the lead.
Oh yeah, look, when we get there, things gonna change. It can't help but change.
Okay, because we coming in there with that right mindset.
Yep.
That's what we coming in at. with that
Uh,
right mindset. We ain't gonna get down this way. If we go eat, all of us is going to eat,
Yep.
mhm.
and it's just that simple.
Let me get Sister Betty on because Sister Betty, she's been in the background for a minute. I know she's probably dealing with some kids, so I didn't want to disturb Sister Betty and have a child end up with some diaper rash, you know.
But one thing carries them and let you see my face. Grand rising, shalom to the royal family of the house of Judah.
Hey,
Miss
Sister
Betty,
Betty.
60 years old. She don't change diaper. I pay people to do that.
I know.
Okay? I don't do that no more. Shalom, Jacob, Michael. How you guys doing this morning?
Bless.
I feel you.
Doing pretty good,
Y'all
sis.
know y'all know I'm listening to y'all in the background. Kids up here doing exercises, but I had to jump on. I haven't heard from y'all all week, feel like. But look at him. All this we're doing, all this that y'all has us doing, it is for the betterment of the kingdom. Don't
Mhm.
ever think that no matter what come our way, that we're gonna turn back, run back, be scared, and stop moving the way we're moving. And I want to tell y'all what happened at the cafe yesterday. Mr. Ken is a 70-year-old Hebrew from a tiny island. I forgot Martinez. It's a tiny island, but he has a bow waste company right next door to the cafe. Well,
Mm.
he has a sign posted, from where he parks his bow waste truck at every day after he get off from work. Well, it's a dance studio right next to Mr. Ken's building. Dance studio, white dance studio. My granddaughter was going to that dance studio also. So Mr. Ken would go over there to the dance studio and tell Miss Teresa, can you please not have your customers, park where I gotta park this bow waste truck at? And he been like 7 years and he been going through this. Well, he had a confrontation with a Gentile, and my son Arthur was standing there because the Gentile was raising up against Mr. Ken. He's 70, but he's still
Mhm.
working in good shape. So Arthur was like, "Hey, just move your car." Then this won't, because the Gentile was like, "Well, um, he was talking loud to my wife." But my son said, "But it is a sign posted: do not park. This is for the bow waste truck." So that simmered down. Okay. Yesterday, Arthur called me, "Mom, I know you're going to be really, really upset." I'm like, "Arthur, just tell me what it is. I'm too tired to guess. Tell me." So he told me yesterday, Mr. Ken come 5 o'clock, get ready to back in his bow waste truck, and another one of the dance studios cars are parked where the bow waste truck is. It's supposed to be with the sign. So Mr. King, go over there, go in there and talk to Mr. Teresa and say, whose car is this? Y'all see the sign. Y'all keep ignoring the sign and keep parking in my space. Another Gentile raised up against Mr. Ken and
Mm.
tell Mr. Ken, I don't appreciate you coming in here talking loud to my wife. Mr. Ken said, I done told y'all, and Teresa, I done told you, and it's posted. Why do you continue to park in my place for this truck? The white Gentile father of one of the little girls raised Miss Ken turned to walk out of the building. Do you know this white Gentile man got up and attacked Mr. Ken,
Oh my
punched him
goodness.
all in his back,
Oh
all in his shoulder? When I
man, you
tell you I'm sad, I'm so sad. And then Arthur messaged Mr. Ken last night and told him, Mr. Ken, you can press charges because you the elderly, you 70,
mhm.
and this young Gentile done attack you.
Good
And,
night.
That's
and
elder
so
abuse here in Florida. That's
that's
really called
elderly
elder
abuse.
abuse.
He attacked Mr. Ken yesterday, and we and Arthur. I'm trying to tell Arthur, you can't say nothing, Arthur, because he can't because he wasn't there. He didn't see it. So what can he do? But Arthur texts Mr. Ken and signing the laws of the state of Florida, telling Mr. Ken, his rights, what he can do. But the worst part of this is the cops came, the Lake Wells PD came and did not arrest this Gentile for attacking a 70-year-old man.
That's a shame.
Like the
That's
brother,
a shame.
like the
That
brother said in
wow.
the comment, did the brother pull out the white chair?
He
Mm.
ain't do nothing, y'all.
I mean, ooh, good
Mr.
night.
Ken ain't do nothing, y'all.
truthfully, he
And,
didn't supposed to do nothing.
and
Because if Arthur was there, I think it would have been.
what?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
would have been
that's
different.
what I'm talking about.
Y'all be sending some bet. That's my
Yeah,
child. No,
yeah.
That's
Miss Betty would have been there. I'd have had both of my Hebrew kings there. It would
mm,
have been a whole nother Alabama beatdown.
Yeah, yeah. Arthur, where did he go to? The Florida State for football?
Arthur went to fam.
Oh, FAMU. Okay, yeah,
Arthur went to
yeah,
fam. We ain't nothing but us.
yeah,
mm.
yeah,
And
yeah.
Marcel went to the white privilege college, but Arthur went to fam. Marcel got, but still Marcel is the same beast now because they came from me. So don't
Let
get
me
this twisted.
let me tell
They
you.
came from
Let me
Betty.
let me tell you.
Okay.
Let me tell you. This size on Arthur. He's about
It's
6'3", about
he's yeah. Come on,
about what
Cares.
230, 240
Muscle.
muscle. Yep.
And he's young.
And
Marcel is 6'5",
he,
220. Cut.
yeah, yeah,
Cut. Do you hear me?
yeah.
Cut.
Those
Mr.
are the Florida
Ken,
boys. Those are the Florida
these
boys right there.
these you know they say Karen, these Florida boys run through the muck.
Yep.
They don't just run through the dirt, they run through the muck.
And let me tell you about Lake Wales with all them waters and chains and stuff like
Okay
that.
then.
Okay,
Okay, Carrie.
you can cover some things on up.
Okay, Carrie.
Them
Come on.
alligators
Come
will have
on.
you missing for forever.
Come
not
on,
for
Carrie.
not for a time
You
forever.
don't even know the things I know, Carrie, about
Oh yes, I
what to
do.
do with a body in the deep south. I ain't gonna even go there because I ain't never killed nobody. But anyways, I know some people definitely missing. I'm telling you right here in Lake Wales that you ain't gonna never find them.
That you
They
gonna
can
never
go ahead.
find.
That's the
Yo,
truth. That ain't
missing
no
in
lie.
action
It's some
on Lake
holes
Kissimmee,
here.
Lake Kissimmee, on one of them Osceola Lake chains.
No, it's Lake Ida where I
Oh,
grew up at. It's lake called Lake Ida right here in
mm,
Lake right here in Polk County. They
mm-hmm.
never hunted for
Yep.
gators in that lake.
Mm,
Remember, it was a gator that we used to call One-Eyed Joe when we was kids. He was a dinosaur then. So you know he got some offspring.
mm,
But Mr. Ken did not raise up against him. And Arthur was like, Mr. Why didn't you call me? I would have been there. We only lived 5 minutes away from the cafe. And Mr.
mm,
Ken said, I can't even tell my wife. So this old man is devil, and he just got over COVID last week.
mm-hmm.
Weak, Mr. Ken, weak. Yeah, but
You better
hey,
say that one in Chicago, because I ain't gonna lie to you, even though it was a week ago, they plotting
it
already.
ain't been a week ago. It was yesterday.
Really? This was
It was
yesterday?
yesterday. What do you
Oh
mean a week
my
ago? This was
goodness.
yesterday.
Do you
You
need me
got
to
me
run on
mad
down
all.
there?
You got me
Mr.
mad
Betty,
all.
you need me to run on down there?
Mm.
I'm
Got it.
only about 45 minutes away. You
We
just
we
let me
we
know.
got it. We got it. I'm gonna get with Mr. But I know he embarrassed if he told his wife. He
It is
embarrassed.
yeah, it is embarrassing, and that's
Yeah,
what white supremacy does. You put your
right.
hands, especially on an older gentleman.
He's
You
70,
know,
y'all.
that's our that's my dad's age. You know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
that's like, we have to be able to stand up for our brothers and sisters and
Yeah, Paris.
see stuff like this that needs to be blasted on the internet. Lake Wales
Yeah.
is only 20 miles from Orlando.
That's
It's
it.
about I'm gonna say 60 miles from Tampa.
Yep.
Mm.
It's
A 45-minute drive
yeah,
at most.
and you gotta understand these white supremacists down here in Florida, they're feeling
Oh,
emboldened
Paris.
with this stuff
It
because of
was
what
bold.
the governor DeSantis is saying. You gotta
Yeah.
understand
Yeah.
that's the danger. Now
Yeah.
they're gonna, like we had said on this channel many a times, they're now gonna try to go for the vulnerable population, the
Absolutely.
old and the young.
Yeah.
The
That's
vulnerable
what happened.
population. That's the cowardice of
Yeah,
white
what a
supremacy.
coward! A young Gentile,
Yeah,
a young Gentile
yeah.
attacking a 70-year-old man who asked you just to move your vehicle so he can park his
Hmm.
work truck. And Mr.
Yeah,
Ken worked 5 days a week. Been owning a Bow Waste company now, y'all, for over 20 years.
yeah.
Don't
And
bother nobody. Quiet. Mr. Ken is a good old guy.
hmm
Yeah. I feel bad, but
That,
I just
that
want to share that with
that's
y'all.
that is ooh wee.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
But I'll let y'all.
you got to remember this is Polk County
It's
and
come
Polk
on.
and Polk County. Let me tell you, there's a dynamic that's there in Polk County, Lakeland, Bartow,
Absolutely. That absolutely.
Mulberry. You know,
All for me,
uh,
all the little backwater
yep,
towns.
yeah.
It's
Y-
yeah. See, because we have a school here named after I think this dude was the president, Polk. Polk.
mhm.
Wasn't it a president named Polk?
Yeah, yeah. He was a Southern president.
He
Yep.
was well, he has a school here called Polk Avenue.
Hmm.
Yeah, and his name is this is a all out racist. It's bad. So like you just said, he was in these Gentiles. They're empowered to bother, like you said, Karis, to beat
Hmm.
up on the elderly.
Yes.
Cause you know he would have never raised up against Arthur or Marcel or
Mm-mm.
the other black karate guy. It's a young black guy there too, in that same little plaza carriage where our cafe at that teach karate. You think he'd
Yeah.
raised up against them?
No. No.
I
No.
know
No,
where that pimp
no.
hand would have been strong up on him.
Yep. Come on. Yeah.
Yeah, he knew his
So
time and opportunity.
he knew it. He knew
don't
it.
yeah, don't get it twisted. He knew his
He
time and
knew it.
opportunity. Oh, they
Okay.
because they're calculating. Okay, you ain't got no backup
Yeah.
with them.
You ain't got no backup. And see the thing about it, everybody's carrying in Polk County carries. You know that.
Yeah.
Everybody you know in these woods got a gun.
Hmm.
Everybody do. And Mr. Ken do too, but Mr. Ken just turned around, he punched him all in his back, all in his shoulder. And Mr. Ken just called the cops, and the cops didn't do absolutely nothing.
Hmm. That's look,
Nothing.
y'all don't understand. That is the war that's going on here. Y'all don't think that
Absolutely.
our people on the continent don't know and don't hear about this war. Now they understand it. Now they're seeing it. Y'all don't think how these bigger pieces affect and go down to us. How we're breathing this,
Absolutely.
how we're moving in this. Y'all
Yeah.
just think, oh well, you want to know what? They're just getting rid of the uranium. No, because you understand the Most High is shaking them to the core because they
Absolutely.
know they're losing their power. And as they're losing their power, we literally just said
Yeah.
this what yesterday? As they're losing their power, they're gonna strike out.
They're going to strike out. Absolutely. And we just got to be more aware now, because this is the spirit that's around now. This is the spirit that's flowing through now. Little old Polk County. This is the spirit that's flowing around now. They're
See.
they're losing power.
I can't say nothing because this is the better. We take this online. We come with the game plan. Whoever that
I
person
know.
was, he won't be visiting that school for quite a while.
He won't,
That,
because guess what? Guess what? We're waiting on him.
oh yeah.
We're waiting on him. We
See,
waiting on him.
see,
And I'm
see,
commanding the charge. We waiting on him.
see. You got to understand how we do things here
Yeah.
in the South. You may want to say,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's the South." No, no, no. We
No,
do
no.
things here in the
Yeah.
South.
It ain't
And,
over now. It ain't
mm-mm.
over by a long shot. This is not
No, no,
over.
no, no,
When I
no,
get
no.
done being busy this morning, I'm gonna get in contact with Mr. Ken, and I'm gonna find out what car it was. Like you just gave me an
Yep.
idea, Carrie. I'm gonna let everybody in Polk County blast that car, blast his description, where the
Hmm.
address was, and what he did to Mr. Ken. We're
Yep.
gonna blast that around Lake Wells, because see, don't nobody really know. Don't nobody really know what happened to him yesterday. And he
Yeah.
had no backup, because you got to know that dance studio is an all white dance studio.
That's what I was
It's
Hmm.
just
some
about
black
to
people
ask.
patronize it, but it's mostly Caucasian.
That's
Hmm.
what I
We're
was
not
about.
really,
I
we're
knew it
not
had to
there.
be, I knew it had to be like a Gentile dance thing.
Hmm.
It is. And see, the reason why we took the granddaughter out, because Teresa, the owner, was doing something at the high school in Frostburg where Arthur worked at, and the entire school, everybody, the staff at the school, nobody liked this Gentile, white or black.
Mm.
Real nasty. Real nasty. So I just took Bella out. She real nasty. So she sat there, did not stand up for Mr. Ken, and didn't say a word when the cops came.
Mm,
Mr.
mm,
Ken said
mm.
Teresa acted like she didn't know what was going on. She acted like she didn't know what was going on. How sad is that?
Yeah, they people act like you can't reach Polk County. Polk County is about 2 hour drive from
Oh
Miami.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
an hour drive from Tampa.
Yeah.
It's a 30-minute drive from Orlando. You know what I'm saying? Like, folks will take
Yeah.
a they'll just take a picnic. It's hot here in Florida. The weather ain't really
Yeah.
raining as much as it has been. Folks will just show on up just to pull on
Mhm.
up. And we
Mhm.
that's when we had to talk to our people, exercise
Yeah.
constraint, because then
Yeah.
they'll turn that 2-3 stoplight town of Lake Wales
Nick.
into
Okay. Okay. We got more than two stoplights. Okay, but it's okay.
I'm just thinking about 60. When I go
I
down
know.
60, you know what I'm talking about.
You right about that. Ain't no stop sign like those things.
I get through Lake Wales in 5 minutes.
Yup, there's no stop signs on 60 for real.
It's not.
For
Look,
real, it's not.
look,
Not
but
on Highway 6, it's not.
no,
On
nope.
27 is maybe what?
There's
I
a
don't know, it's a
couple.
few on
Yeah.
27, but Highway 60
Mm-mm.
going south, no stop signs. No stop.
Oh no,
Well,
no.
one right down below my house.
Yeah.
Walmart. Right
Yep.
below my house is one
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Was
Yep.
that First
Yep.
Street? First, First Street.
What's the name of the dance studio?
Ooh, let me ask my granddaughter. 'Cause my oldest granddaughter went to the very same dance studio. Let me ask you what it is.
Oh boy,
Zipporah.
folks are gonna be
What's
showing on up.
the name of the dance studio you used to go to
They're not gonna
beside
be
the
used to all
cafe?
them black folks showing up in that neck of the woods.
You don't remember the name of it?
And they started showing up. Like, wait a minute, I think they're here for
I,
that beat down y'all put on my
oh,
brother.
They not-
And
oh.
when we started
oh
getting
my
Some
into
of them
goodness.
must be related to some of them white people in Alabama.
Look, when Alabama turns up, look, I'm telling you, Florida is like the next one. Is always the next
Yeah,
hot spot.
absolutely. You know, in the South, they still steaming about that one.
Yeah.
That one has not left.
they can
No.
get steamed all they
Steaming
want.
about that one.
They can get steamed all they want. They can get steamed, turn purple, blue, red, and they call us color. But anyway, ain't nobody worried about them getting upset. You sit up here and you thinking that you can put hands on people.
Yes,
Those
Marcus.
days are gone.
Hmm.
The sooner you
Yes.
realize that, the better off you'll be. Keep your hands to
Yep.
yourself.
Oh, yep. Oh man. You know
Mm,
how hurt we are to see our old man get beat.
mm.
Yeah.
That's, you know, it's here we are. All these events is happening. You got this stuff that's going on in Africa. A couple of weeks down in what was it, Alabama? Yeah, they may be still uptight about that. They're not used to us being that combative.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
You know, they're not used to it. But it's
Hmm.
something
Mm-mm.
we need to get used to because for the people, the Gentile that has that mindset of wait a minute, you started a fight. Well, what'd you expect to happen? You're supposed to get beat down.
Hmm.
And ain't a whole lot of them, but they look at reality. Keep your hands to yourself. That would not have happened. Plenty of times they have gotten into arguments with black people and they laid hands on them. But after one or two punches, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They begging. They
Hmm.
apologize.
Mm-hmm.
One thing you got to give them. They when that first one come around, it dazes them. Oh, wait a minute, this guy got the strength of God. They start being
Mm-hmm.
apologetic.
Absolutely.
But it's the nonsense before that led
Mm-hmm.
to it. But they're not used to humbling themselves.
Absolutely, Michael. They're not.
That's what it is. They're not
That's what it is. They're not used to humbling themselves. Absolutely.
but when you bring that heat, that's when they fall back. If they fall back. Well, I need to go get more help.
Hmm. That's what
Mm-hmm.
they say. Yep.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And then they always get quickly overran, and then they always say, well, let's talk this on out.
yeah.
Let's
Now they want to
understand
talk.
this.
Now they want to talk.
because now remember we're showing up in numbers now.
Hmm.
We hadn't had that before. We haven't had outlets like this. Oh, that happened? Oh, for real? Okay, then guess what? My behind will be on the scene doing a Covenant Awakening special. I'm here outside because I know where it's at, Sister Betty. Trust me, it's still in my ways. I know where
I'm
it's at.
serious, cause it's right next door. When y'all walked up, it's
Yeah,
right next door to the cafe.
I know. I know exactly where it's at. I know where
Hmm.
the little other buildings that's there in that little
Right there.
cul-de-sac area.
Right
Yeah,
there. Yep.
yeah, I know
Yep.
exactly where it's at. That's why I said
It's
I can roll
right
on up
there.
there and be like, "Hey, here's where this thing happened." Take a
And,
look, put this thing on blast. You
and
know,
y'all know Miss Arthur closing the cafe next October will be the last month that the cafe is going to be open because, him and his wife, they already bought the tickets. They're leaving in October. They are
hmm
flying out in October. So we won't even be there anymore. It'll be just Mr. Ken and all them
Oh
Gentiles.
boy. Oh my
He
goodness.
gonna be there alone. Yep.
Mm, mm, mm.
Hmm.
Sure hate to see that.
I
Mm-mm.
hate to see it too. And Miss Kim, from that little island, I forgot the name of the island, but anyway, the volcano erupted on the island and destroyed over half of the island.
Wait a
Mm.
minute, where is this at?
It's like
Mm,
Martinique, I think. Martinique
yeah,
Island. Yeah.
yeah. So he really don't have any family here. He don't have any family and kids here. So it's just him and his wife
They, they,
and
they better
us.
they better start planning that move to Tanzania because they can
Well,
definitely use those bio waste services on on
oh
over there.
yeah, Miss
Ooh,
Kim been
man,
doing
what he
On
bio
the,
waste for
that'll be
he
a
been
big
and
for him.
And we've been talking to him about it. We've been
yeah.
talking to him about it. Mr. Ken is, pretty, because he had a bio waste company in New York.
Oh
Him
yeah.
and his brother had one, so he sold it for a lot of money.
hmm
So, and he bought this one here, and started doing it in Florida. And Mr. Ken, he pretty make really good money. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And he can
Yeah.
move the business. And we've been trying to talk to him, and he got his eyes on it. But the wife, worked for a doctor's office, and she really don't want to make that move. But Mr. Ken, the way he is now, I think this last bout of COVID done made him real. He's weak because he just got over it, and had COVID for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and he's real frail. Like this week, and Arthur
Yeah.
was looking at him like Arthur is really, really livid. He's
hmm
livid.
I'd
He's livid.
imagine. Listen, I'd imagine. And that's
Hmm.
You know,
look because you have to understand. Look, these are those neck of the woods. So it's country, but it ain't that country. I mean,
No.
it's I
Well, we have a
honestly,
mall. We have a
yeah,
mall.
yeah.
well,
It literally is. It literally is, in my opinion. It's more or less a suburb of Orlando, but
Hmm.
it's still like considered in the Tampa Bay area. Technically, they
I'm gonna
still
tell you
Hmm.
consider it
this,
Tampa
brother Ben
Bay.
Yuda. He said, just tell him a name. He just want a name.
I'm gonna get it though. I'm gonna get it. I got to get with Mr. Kim because, like I told you, Mr. Kim was so hurt last night. He was just Mr. Ken's so hurt because Mr. Ken is one of these real mild mannered elderly people,
hmm
very respectable, very decent, mild, quiet, meek.
Yeah,
Don't bother nobody. I never heard Mr. Ken raise his voice. And all he did was ask him to move his truck so he can park his Bow waste truck in. Because he have to load, unload those containers. Because Mr. Ken pick up for all the school system
hmm
around Polk County and
mm
some Orlando counties,
hmm
down south. So he pick up from doctors' offices, hospitals,
Yep.
schools. So, a lot of people know Mr. Ken because he pick up from all the schools in our area. So
Mm,
they know, and he have to unload where he back his truck up. That's where he unload all that bio
Yes.
stuff, in the back of the truck. So he has to have that spot right there, beside the garage thing that he, unload those bio bins in. It ain't like he can go park in the front of the cafe and then carry that stuff around the corner to the bio waste place. He has to be able to park there. They
mm,
don't care.
you know, I don't know. I mean, you got a certain spirit about yourself, especially being African American, you hear that stuff, you be like, no, you want to, it's like you want to lay hands because there's a spirit in you. It's like,
Absolutely.
you can't be touching on me, my people. I mean,
No,
those days are gone. I mean, keep your
no.
hands to yourself.
Keep your hands to
Yeah,
yourself. Y'all don't know
yeah,
how tempted I am to walk around there to Teresa's shop and ask her who
yeah.
was the man that attacked Mr. Ken. She ain't gonna
Oh,
tell me,
she
but
ain't gonna
Don't do
tell.
that,
No,
Mom.
they ain't gonna do that.
no,
Yeah, they're
no,
not
she
gonna
ain't
do
gonna
that. They're not
tell me.
gonna.
No,
Yeah, and I'm gonna say it like this. Even for the sake of the audience and to be, and because I know our folks can kind of fly out the handle. This is something
yeah,
we can discuss and take offline.
okay,
Because
all right,
then we have to game plan. We'll game plan how to handle this. How this thing
yeah,
should be addressed.
yeah,
Because the great thing about Florida, we have family up in Florida. We have folks up in Florida, right? And there probably needs to be bigger venues, which are there in the
yeah,
Orlando area,
You know
which
what?
is a good which is a good thing to have.
One of the
So
person made a comment. This is a point. Sister Betty,
yeah.
was did this take place inside the place or was it outside the place?
It was he hit Mr. Ken walking outside of the place because Mr. Ken was inside of the dance studio trying to find out whose car. So he was inside Teresa's dance studio.
All right, now let me ask you something. You got cameras up?
I don't see he's on that back, he's on the around the corner from us, next door,
mhm.
but around the corner. And her dance studio is farther at the end. She may have cameras
I will
because
go there and see can we talk to him. Even ask the brother. Do you have any cameras pointing at that particular
I'm gonna
parking
ask
space?
Mr. I'm gonna
You know,
ask Mr. Ken.
yeah,
Mhm.
you can
But
put.
Arthur said Mr. Ken needs to go ahead and pay a towing company that if anybody pay park in that spot,
At
their
his
vehicle
home.
will be towed.
Hmm.
Mhm. Or put a boot on it and make them pay like $300 to get it off. You shouldn't have parked there.
Yeah,
That's what they
yeah.
do in
So
Chicago.
so can I call a towing company and find out do they what can be done about placing something
Yes,
out
you
there?
can. As long as you got
Okay.
that sign up saying no parking
Yeah.
and they do not abide by, yeah, you have the legal right to have that
Okay.
vehicle towed.
Okay. I'm gonna call the local towing company here. Matter of fact, he lives next door to me.
Mm.
Yeah, the towing guy for Myers Towing, he lives next door to me.
That's the only thing they understand. The
A
Gentiles, they understand
Gentile
money.
though.
They understand money.
Yep.
Then they
They understand
looking
you
at
right
it,
about that, Michael.
hey,
All
I ain't gonna
right.
be paying this, and then that's how they get obedient,
Okay. All
effective
right. Well,
money.
all right, family. When
I
we
thought
get
that's.
done with this, I'm gonna
Mm,
call.
mm, mm.
I'm gonna call. I don't even know Mr. Ken went to work today. Cause Arthur said Mr. Ken said the dude hit him so hard in his back. And then when he walking on out, and then he punched him all in his shoulder. You
Oh
know,
man.
yeah. He
Shalom,
owed him
fam.
prayer.
Shalom,
Shalom.
brother. Hey, how you doing? Soul.
So listen, my mom don't even know all the story. But I didn't even know she was on live. I'm just searching on YouTube and I noticed
Yeah.
that y'all on live. So I see everybody on live and I'm like, I hear my mom. I'm like, what's she talking about? But apparently Mr. Ken, I spoke to Mr. Ken last night again
Oh,
because I was trying to push him to go ahead and take it further. But Mr. Ken say he did turn around to try to retaliate and the guy body slams him to the ground.
What?
oh
Oh,
my
So
gosh,
it's even
this
worse
Arthur.
just
than we
went from
thought.
bad to worse. This is
It's
Oh,
oh
even
my
worse.
days.
It's even
Mm,
worse
mm,
than
mm.
what we thought.
oh,
So either way, he going to the police station today to get the report and get the guy's name so he can go ahead and file press charges.
Good.
oh.
What? I mean, let me
He
ask you
Yeah,
something
body
now.
slammed Mr. Ken.
Mm,
to the
mm,
How
mm.
big
ground.
is he?
Oh my
How big is
God.
Mr. Ken?
Mr.
Ken is
Mr. Ken about
small.
what 5'8".
Oh my god.
Oh, good
My,
Yeah.
gracious. Oh,
oh my goodness.
Oh.
Oh,
See,
that
the
this
last
really
time
tears
this
me. This really
happened,
tears me up.
The last time something like this happened where they got into an altercation with these two white guys, I just happened to be leaving my gym
Mm-hmm.
and I overheard the commotion. So then I came over. Now, if you heard how these white guys was talking to Mr. Ken and the things that they were saying, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. But I just thank the Most High that I was there because it was two white guys the time before. But this time, Mr. Ken was by himself, so I told him I just wish he would have called us or something.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Wow. And
Oh,
now the guy who slammed him, how big is he? You know?
I'm assuming, I'm assuming he a younger white guy, so I'm pretty sure he was,
Mhm.
pretty fit or whatever. Mr. Ken said he was driving a Tesla. Um, so they real privileged, and that's in that area. That's what we got. We got those who
Mm-hmm.
think they can, you know. And so Mr. Ken was checking them. He was telling them like, y'all shouldn't be parking in my spot. So the white guy told him, who are you to be talking to me and my wife enforcing parking rules? So I guess the white guy said, a couple cursing words, and Mr. Ken definitely don't mind telling people how it is. So, he said some things, but Mr. Ken was like, I'm just gonna walk away.
Mm-hmm.
So when he was walking out the door is when the guy came behind him, hit him 2 times in his shoulder and in his back.
It's
And
like
then
a
Mr.
Mm.
Ken said he did turn around to try to, throw a punch, but then the guy grabbed him and body slammed him to the ground.
and nobody
Coward
actually
moves. Those are coward moves.
oh,
Those are the coward moves. I gotta tell you, look,
oh,
when you're confronting white supremacy, you don't confront them.
oh,
You don't confront them thinking that they're going to,
oh.
stand up or front up. They're
No.
cowards, and
Yeah,
they're
he
gonna do
wouldn't have
coward
did that
moves.
if I was there though.
Yeah, exactly. Because
He wouldn't even.
they know what battles they can win. They said, okay, he's an easy win. He's an easy mark. That's how they look at it.
He was alone.
5'8". That brother pretty petite.
All
But don't
they
worry,
ever
I'm gonna get all
do
his
is
info
beat
today.
up on women and old people. They don't
That's
want to
correct.
go head to head with a young man or somebody middle age. They know they're gonna get their butt handed to them.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's messed up, man. I'm telling you, I was dreaming about this last night, so I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm gonna make sure, I'm gonna stay. I ain't gonna try to go over there and confront nobody. I'm gonna just get his information.
Hmm.
But yeah, he I couldn't have been there.
Or you gotta blast that on Facebook.
Don't worry, I am. I got a plan for him today. But I was trying to push Mr. Ken to get information because he
Hmm.
trying to keep it quiet. But you shouldn't keep something like that quiet. If you was a black man doing that, especially in Polk County, they would have had him arrested. They would
But
have
Yeah,
had
here's the
four
they
thing:
were
cops out there.
Polk County, man. That he would have been. He, he,
you got to
you
make
know what he could have been in Polk County. So let me just stop with
yeah.
right there. You know what I'm saying.
So you got to make sure if there is a confrontation, you scan them because they be packing. Like
Hmm.
almost everybody here in Texas got a gun. I'm assuming it's the same in Florida.
It
Yeah,
is. It's the exact
absolutely,
same way.
absolutely. They all strapped up around here.
How many? How
That's
many
the
up in
whole
y'all?
thing. That's the whole thing.
10.
If
10.
if
Okay.
if he was
You got
there,
7.
especially in that
Didn't
close
try.
combat, to be honest, I don't think he probably had the gun on him in the school or in the
Oh,
area.
who's Maya?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah, I
But
don't
I'm
think he had nothing in
oh,
that
yeah,
studio.
nice.
but I believe he thought that that was an easy fight that he could win,
So the man
and then
next
you
door
have
to
to
us,
understand what
Teresa's
that does.
dance studio.
Mom, mute
One
your
of the
mic.
oh oh
Yeah,
oh
you don't want to put all that here because
oh.
yeah, you have some folks that will be just spitting vinegar right now. So, um, you know, as I was saying, the man was thinking that was an easy mark. He could do this. He has a story to tell, and then guess what that does? That catches like wildfire. Oh yeah, I did. My friend did this to him. I'm gonna do this too. This is the backwoods thinking. It's the
Yeah, this
backwoods
is me thinking
thinking.
up for Alabama
Hmm.
on
Yeah.
7-year-old. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then it goes from bad, and it gets progressively worse, and then that's around here. That's around Florida. Now Florida's built a little different. Florida's built a little different. Florida isn't that type where you're going to do something and it's going to stay undone. No, there's retaliation. It really does, and I'm not advocating for it. So, blah, blah, blah. YouTube, the powers that be, don't shut me down. But let me just tell you, folks from Miami will make the trip.
The
Yeah,
thing
I already know that.
is this.
You know what I'm saying? Folks from Duval will make the trip. Oh, let's get on I-4 and let's get to work.
But the,
Folks
but
from
the gun
Orlando.
laws. Let me ask you something about the gun laws. Let's just say hypothetically speaking that this man did have a gun on him, but he initiated the fight. He swung. So now, what I'm asking is this: he swung on Mr. Ken and body slammed him. Now, if he would have just said, let's say he pulled out his gun and shot him, I mean, how do that work? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Sadly,
yeah. Well, he'll get arrested. Mr. Kim will get arrested.
No, 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 no,
That's
no, no,
just
no, no.
that's just
I'm
how it goes.
saying
No,
he,
I'm just telling you. I'm telling you how it goes. I'm not telling you what the law actually is. I'm telling you how it goes.
but
Mr.
he's
Kim will
he's
be arrested for discharging the gun in the and city limits, yada yada. They'll find a charge for that.
I'm talking about the white guy shooting him.
Oh, the white guy shooting Miss. Oh, that's first degree murder, at least.
yeah,
Now, if Mr. Kim retaliated back, I'm just saying, yeah, there's a stand your. You do have a stand your ground here in Florida.
But I mean, if you protecting yourself, now you did not initiate the fight. You just came
Yeah,
out. You didn't move your car. But then
yeah,
when you turn your back, you get assaulted. Now
absolutely.
you getting assaulted, and you turn around and Mr. Ken would have had a gun on him or whatever. He is he
Yeah,
not in
he
his right?
yeah he could shoot in that situation because that is a reasonable duty to protect your life. The problem is that when you're there now in the presence of kids in that particular context, Mr. Kim will be arrested. I'm just telling you how the laws are, and I'm telling you how the laws will be interpreted because they're not interpreted fairly for us. You want to know why? Because that was the same exact thing for I think she was a sister, she was an Israelite sister who fired a warning shot, and she got arrested and sent to jail for attempted murder. So don't think that just because you may have laws on the books that those laws are going to be enforced in your favor. Absolutely not.
Well,
Absolutely not. Especially there in Polk County. Oh, no,
well, I'm gonna say it
no.
this
and
way.
that's true because Mr. Ken was, and that was his biggest drawback. He
Exactly.
didn't want to press charges because he was worried if he would get in trouble for swinging back. And I'm like, Mr. Ken, you 70 years old. It's a
Hmm.
felony. This man shouldn't be able to hit you in your back twice like that. And he didn't even tell me when I spoke to him on property. He didn't even tell me that Mr. Ken, that the guy had slammed him to the ground. He didn't tell me that until last night. He was like, because
Mm-hmm.
that's when I was pushing him and sending him all the laws and stuff. And he was like, well, I did swing back, but I didn't, hit him. He body slammed me to the ground. And I was just like, man.
Yeah. So swinging back, that's an attempt to defend your life. That's an attempt to thwart off an assault, right?
Exactly.
But when you do that type of a close combat, where you have to come in a close contact manner to be able to even, do a maneuver to pin someone to the ground. Well, that's an assault all day. And to be honest, on a 70-year-old, oh my goodness, that could be justified as attempted murder.
Yeah, because, man, Mr. Ken is like, and I know he's sore today. I know he's sore today because he was sore yesterday.
Yeah.
You know
So,
what, man? This is the thing I'm looking at. The punk we be people have this thing, and I understand why they push guns. I understand that. If I was in their shoes, yeah, I would be pushing it too, because your history that you had laid before this world, you bullied the whole world, and now You seeing you seeing people rising up. You seeing nations coming against you. And now you want to conceal and carry. You should be worried and carry because you started this dumb stuff. You started it. You can pull out a gun all you want. They can pull out a gun all they want. And now you sit there and you slamming a 70-year-old man who's old enough to be your grandfather. 70-year-old. Now, if that man's son came in to handle matters, then you gonna say he's wrong. But let a black man come in, slam a 70-year-old white man. He'll be on Dateline within the hour.
Well, tell Mr. Ken to go to the doctor, get checked up, get all the stuff, get everything documented, bumps, bruises, everything. That's what Mr. Ken needs to be doing right now today. Go to that doctor, get all the stuff, get everything. Because I'm gonna tell you, what hurts them more than going to jail is getting them in their pockets.
There you go.
That's what helps. That's what hurts them the most. They don't care about their family. Look, you take out their, you mess with their 401k.
Yeah.
That's
and make sure you get a prescription for a white chair too.
Oh my man. He said he's driving a Tesla. And somebody in the comment section said, well, Mr. Ken's going to be driving his Tesla pretty soon.
You know, these are the things we need. You know, we need to stay up on because it's taking on a whole different ball game now. I mean, when you mess with one, now you done mess with a whole nation. And the more the world see this, yeah, they go start to learn. They're going to start to learn. You know, and this here, I was not expecting this. I kid you not. I was not expecting to hear that some guy body slammed a 70-year-old black man, 5'8". That's a petite brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a small stature. It's a small stature, especially when you're. It sounds like he's in good condition. He's probably wearing, at the most 160, 170 because he's active, right? At 5'8". You know what I'm saying? I look at it because I'm like, this definitely reminds me of like my dad, and I could just see if my dad getting body slammed in his condition right now. Oh. I'd be driving down to Boca right now, and I'd be saying somebody here needs to support Covenant Awakens and Karis Copeland. I'll tell you. Let me put my number on up there, Mike. Let me tell you because I will be going to jail. So put something on my commissary. Put something on the books. Because if that was my dad and that were to happen, I would say, okay, well, let me see all the cameras. Who was here? I'd do my own investigation. I turn into Magnum PI.
See, but this is the thing, man. When I find this irritating because they play this stuff in their head like they're a superhero. This Superman DC Marvel thing got them on a whole different level, and we trying to. You need to come back down to earth because that nonsense ain't real. They want to. This guy it would appear want to. Hey, he want to show everybody I'm the man.
Yeah,
that's what it appears.
Yeah. Oh, he's telling his buddies right now. Yeah, I done slammed this black guy to the ground. That dude was probably like 6'5".
6'5". Oh, how old was he? Oh, he's about 35 years old. So yeah, they drumming his lie up.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's telling his friends. Yeah, I beat this black guy down to the ground. And then when the real story comes out, like you elderly abuse a black guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, that's the thing. But then if you take a black man and a white guy can come up there cursing him and all that, he'll frail old guy, he'd be like, dude, go on with that nonsense now. Black guy go walk off.
Mm-hmm.
There's a measure of respect and biblical respect that black people do have. That's one thing they do have. Now, I have seen some older white guys get up and lay hands on some young guys and women.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they laid hands right back to them. One punch, they was out. They was out, laying flat. So, but that's not the norm with us. That is not the norm with us. You know, we press on. You may have a brother or sister that may curse them back out. But one thing we don't do, the elderly is that's a different ball game. You don't come off and disrespecting the elderly like that.
Well, remember the scripture says this is the curses right here. What? There's no regard for what?
Yeah.
The old or the young.
Oh yeah.
So listen, we're in the lands of our captivity, and I don't think that they truly understood. Yeah, he opened himself up for that lawsuit.
At 70 years old, yes, he did.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only thing he gonna understand.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only. Gary, you just said earlier today, as long as black people here, that dollar go have strength.
Mm-hmm.
Now, hold that thought. Now, here it is. That's what they value the most, is that dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we gone, your dollar gone. It's us that you was valuing, and you didn't even know it.
Yep.
You didn't even know it. That value was that black man that you body slam. You just body slam your own money.
Yeah.
Shh. Dude, please.
I see. I knew that once Jacoba was going to come on today, I knew that something was telling me it's going to take a different direction. Jacoba's just in the background eating some cereal, like, hey.
I told you.
That's right. I told you.
Man. This thing just went left, and now look, everybody's heated. It's like, man, I'm boy, oh boy.
But this it was going to happen. I mean, it was going to happen. These things supposed to happen. Yah's people are, they finding their strength. Yah is giving them the spirit to raise their head now. Mm-hmm. And we're rising it. We're raising it. We're raising our heads. We're not going for that. We're not going for that dumb stuff any longer. And period. Yeah, we get upset. You can see some stuff they doing to the brothers and sisters in Africa. We get upset.
Yeah.
A distance, miles away from the situation, but we still get upset. And it's just not here. You're talking about the brothers in the UK.
Yeah.
They sin and they have the same, they getting upset. So now, yeah, we sit and we know where it's coming from. They talking about why race why y'all always using the race card? Because it's a racial situation. What part of this you don't understand? What part of it, they don't understand, but then they want to sit up here and make us think we gonna feel bad. No, you're not gonna get us to feel bad about it. We know exactly where it's from and where it's coming from and where it's going. Mm-hmm. Until you realize who your money is. If you knew who your money is,
yeah,
ain't no way our people would have been hanging from trees.
Mm-hmm.
But arrogance has made a plum fool of them.
Mm-hmm.
A plum fool. And for the smart ones out there, I take my hat off to you because you recognizing a bad situation and you're contemplating how can I take this situation and find some good for me and my family, because that's what it's getting to, an individual Gentile life sustaining situation. That's where it's at right now. That's where it's getting to. Now you got to start thinking about your family and your livelihood. You will have to. The world is upset at Esau. This is what Obadiah is saying. He said, you will be, what's the word it said? It's going to be a nation where everybody's going to resent you. And the whole, well, the world right now, they're not resenting. Well, let me take that lie back.
Obadiah literally states that Edom
Yeah.
and those nations that fall under the Edom banner, and it's real easy to understand the nations that fall under the Edom banner. They all have the what? The eagle. They all have a dirty or unclean bird, just like what you see in Revelation 17 and 18. I'll let Jacoba speak on that one. This is a Jacoba's lane.
No, y'all. I think y'all the Edom experts. I had a question. What do y'all think of the show that asked Dr. Brown? Dr. Brown said about Dante,
Oh, you about to get me mad now.
because he trying to save them, right? He's trying to make themselves relevant by saying there's no black people in the Bible and or history, basically. Well, I mean history he sort of admit, but I think he tries to infer of converts on our end. Did y'all see that?
Yeah,
Yes.
I saw. I didn't see that. I haven't actually. I haven't probably seen that. The last thing I saw was your show, um, and the genetic, mutation type strategy that he was trying to use. And the reason I say strategy is because it was no, scientific plausibility to it. Which they were trying. It was a reach. It was a reach for the stars, right? But in terms of, where they're at, they're in trouble. They
Yeah.
know they're in trouble.
Yep.
And they understand they're not in trouble because of necessarily us. I think that they understand they're in trouble because they see what is inferred with Russia in the iconography. You have to understand the imagery. They see the same imagery as we've seen it, and they saw black folks in iconography that represented the church, that represented Israelites, that represented who we were. And it
Well,
represented who they were as them not being those people.
I think
That's
he
what they're
picked the
afraid
wrong
of.
person though,
Hmm.
because
Oh yeah.
he gonna get systematically destroyed.
Oh, Dante was there. Dante, look, Dante's Dante's about to pull that ultimate candy man.
Yo.
And it's gonna be a white person getting that honey
Yeah.
coated hook.
We gonna hear the music.
Murder. Murder.
I was looking at that. I was
Dante's
looking.
gonna be licking that hook too. He's gonna be like,
Yeah.
I like the taste.
The thing about it, the thing about it is, he and a lot of his kind do not understand the severity of them calling themselves the Jays. They don't understand it. You go into the book of Revelations, and when the Messiah said, "Hey, they calling themselves," what's the word I mean? What's the code word I can use? Those people.
Mhm.
Them
He
folks.
said, "But they're not, but a synagogue of Satan."
Yep.
But also, if you look at the scripture, he called them blasphemers. For anyone to call themselves who we are
It's
is a
blasphemy.
blaspheming offense.
Yep, it is.
That's the thing they got to look at. They not seeing that. So now when we say, hey, we Judah, we are going according to scripture. They're saying they're Judah according to what? You calling your name, that's a holy name that Yah said it is offense for anyone to call themselves this name if you're not that. That's blasphemy. They are in some serious trouble. If you look at that scripture, boom. And then not the scripture say, also, do not give what is holy to dogs.
Mm.
And it's funny that, to me, Dr. Brown moves like the apologist, right? Um, throw in a little truth with a little lie,
Mm.
Yeah.
misrepresent certain points. It's pretty sad. I'm like, he just need to admit it. He sort of admitted it, in the show I did that they converts. Now what is
Yeah.
he doing? Switching back? What?
Well, they can't. You got to remember, it's prepping, right? So you're trying to mentally prep and mentally condition the audiences that, hey, see, we told you we were always converts. We told
Yeah.
you we were always this. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to do the mental gymnastics, to then say, well, you all should have realized if you all had read the Bible, if you all had, to then say you're the ones that are to
Flip it on
blame.
us. I don't care.
That's the flip. That's the game. Exactly. You should have known better.
Let's just say they say they converts. But this is the dangerous thing too. Also, you cannot be a convert and then still talk down to Israel. It ain't gonna happen. You still offending the holy seed.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's trying to still convince people that they the original, even after he admitted to being a convert. I'm like, I'm confused.
I said the same thing, bro. I was looking at this. Wait a minute. I'm like, wait a minute. He just said they converts. Now all he's saying, but he's this, and I look at this cat until it got to a point when like I started out when the brother was talking about E1B1A until they started working my nerves. I said, what does the scripture say? I said, you all believe in E1B1A like it's the Torah.
Thank you.
I'm like, man, what are you talking about? The scripture clearly states this sign is going to be upon a particular people. I don't care what they can be a Hamite by blood. If they was the ones that came up out of Egypt and kept their bloodline within Israel, who are they then? They Israel.
And here's the other thing. I think our own people brought this on themselves with the whole DNA thing because they don't understand it. And like, even when you look at the Bible, right, when they had to put away some of their kids, but then the Bible also talks about like after the third or fourth generation, they can become Israel again. So, you had this reintegration as well with back into Israel. There is no pure E1B1A type group thing, which is why you have Hamites who are E1B1A.
Wait, Jacob, can you replay? Can you repeat that, please? Can you repeat that, please? Because I don't think a lot of our people understand that you are still Israel, but you are fully integrated after what? The third or fourth generation.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't think
but see, they skip all that stuff, and everybody E1B1A. If you ain't E1B1A, you ain't. I'm like, y'all don't know what y'all talking about, and that's why we was fighting all that stuff all of them years. We don't talk about it anymore, but it's really exhausting, right? When you look at what the scripture says, it doesn't line up with what they're trying to portray. And then, let alone, let's not talk about Israel being in Europe and coming back and integrating. Now, most of them stayed within the circle of Israel. Well, we know there was a few of those who had to integrate back in. What about Thomas? Thomas, had to integrate back in, I'm sure, because his daddy was a Gentile. But I'm just saying, I'm like, there's so many variables that happen to Israel, and let alone Israel went into captivity in Babylon and all of these things, Assyria. I'm like, come on. I'm like, some of our people and their logic is just flawed.
The thing that got me, Jacoba, was this. When they was talking about that, of course, they talk about the father's DNA carries down to the son. And I'm looking at Esau and Jacob. But now some of them say, no, Esau was E1B1, E1B1B.
B. Mm-hmm.
Jacob's E1B1A. I was like, now how are you? They got the same father.
Thank
So
you.
what you talking about? It's called
Thank you.
Who told you that his bloodline was changed? They just haphazardly, thought it. This is how it gets down.
But Teo don't know what they're talking about, right? But like you said, they were twins. How does Esau have E1B1B and Israel got E1B1A? I'm like, it just don't make no sense.
But the thing about it is, E1B1A is also attributed to Ham.
Thank you.
So Ham was dipping with Sarah. I mean,
let alone you got white boys with E1B1A and they got like 90-something% European autosomes. Make it make sense.
And I looked at that stuff. I'm like, no, I can't get down with this here. Now y'all sit there and preach this stuff, and I'm like, no, I don't get down with this E1B1A. But don't get me wrong, brother. Yes, when I first got into it, I did my blood, and boom, I'm both sides. Yoruba and Igbo. And I'm
see, they want to get on me because I'm G, right? But they believe that the Middle East is our land, but G is found in the Levant, right? In parts of the Levant. So make it make sense. Even some of their own records, they'll show it. I'll watch some of their shows, they'll show it, but then they gloss over it and then they go talk about J. I'm like, haplogroups are just migration patterns at a certain time with groups of people. That's it.
Yep.
You can't identify nobody with that.
But you can identify somebody through the Bible. And see, this is the thing.
Thank you.
They want to sit up here and they come with this science, and then I'm like, y'all talk like science supersede Yah in the scripture. Please tell me if there is any prophet that was in the Bible quoted to a book outside of the Bible.
And say, Mike, who's the experts on DNA? They white folks, ain't they? And you got to adhere to the white folks' interpretation of something for black folks. Come on.
But now this is what they're doing, Jacoba. They really truly paying homage to some people who is dictating science to them. And now all of a sudden, they highly educated. You've been educated from the guy who told you that the Christ was white.
Exactly. But then they say, okay, well, we know he wasn't white, but he wasn't black either. Okay, all right.
He was a Martian. He came down from Mars because he came down from the heavens. That's like
anything but Negro. That's it, right?
People talking about he was olive green. I said, no, he was black olive. I mean, anything. We done with it. Now, what are you talking about? But this is the stuff that with this awakening, brothers, and I ain't gonna lie to you. I have never seen so much nonsense.
Yeah.
I have never seen. I mean, a week ago, like me and Karis and Big Red, we was talking about the stuff that was it thoughts, camera, action, and I looked at the stuff and like, I don't know about that. That don't. I'm like, this don't sound like that, brother.
Look, dude, look, I don't know what's going on, but that don't seem like TCA. I don't know what's happening.
I said the same thing, Jacoba.
Yeah, it don't look, the meticulous research he would do in the past, and he would put all of the pieces together. Now it's like, look at these hand signs, and look, so they Freemasons. I'm like, nah, that don't sound like him to me. We'll see, but I don't know what's going on.
Now, cause being Red, I said, Red, I think that was AI. Red, like, man, Mike, I'm thinking the same thing, and because I tell you, when it happened. Over the past weekend, it seemed like everybody was irritated. And that seemed like to me, it was a warning shot. Because Sister Shonda, she got on, she spoke about it and things. She did it in a meticulous way.
While she hit indirectly at tail, but
exactly. What you with me? She did what?
Indirectly hitting that tail at the same time.
She was?
Oh yeah. Y'all ain't catch it, but that's all right.
All right.
She's still my sister.
Yeah, when it's all over said and done, that's what it boils down to being, But I seen how it sent out a bad spirit amongst a lot of brothers and sisters, and people was commenting on Sister E. She meticulously addressed it, and she said that's still my brother. She said we need to stand back, pray for our brother if it, you know, if it went down that way like that, boom, because she don't know. I mean, I don't know if anybody heard. And like, well, going back, Big Red said, and he said, you notice you could not leave a comment.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing that got me. That was one of the things. But just to look at some of the stuff in them, and I'm quite sure we all know everybody here pretty much held up a gesture.
But let me
And
ask y'all a question. When
Mhm.
all of the old shows for TCA, you would either see him or you would hear him talking. Now
Yes,
all it is just clips of images and some of the bruh, and but he's not talking or anything. He's not showing his face. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm really suspect that that's him
I
doing
said
that.
the same thing. That's
Is this the first of they've cloned Tyrone the
yes, it is.
in the like
Yeah, yeah. They they
I
they,
think I
they,
think
they will try their best to get to Yakoba.
you know how Europe is. They could grab you, you don't know, and take
yeah,
over your channel and pretend to be you, right? To
you.
try to take down the community.
That is true. I mean, and that's kind of one of those things. I'm like, how would they operate? I mean, that's Europe. Yeah, you're operating in something different. In America, yeah, there would be a little bit more. If you were to do that and we find out and we are, calling each other, you know what I'm saying? Mike's got the number. I could call Shonda. I could call other folks, and it's like, yo, that was not me. Somebody is
Yeah,
impersonating me. You know what I'm saying? We would
yeah.
be able to get around and get that bat signal on out there.
Didn't that happen to Don P one time?
What was
What
that?
happened?
Didn't that happen to him one time? It was somebody hacked into his system, and he got out there and he let him know, that was not me.
Oh,
Was it?
I never heard that.
All
I
Okay.
right,
don't
man.
know.
All
Yeah,
right.
I'm not sure. I
I thought
can't
it happened to him. All right.
I
I
can't
mean, yeah,
speculate.
I mean, but now technology and took off. They got this AI and they bowing down to this stuff here, this AI thing. All and I don't put nothing past it now. If anything to push black men back down, they're gonna try. They're gonna try their best to do it, and especially we got to make these educated brothers uneducated. We
Yeah.
got to make the people believe that they are uneducated.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all talk to his people. That's the problem they having.
But you know what gets me is you can destroy a person in their ministry by saying, look at their hand signs with no other information to prove that they're Masons or some other kind of group. So, like, how many of us took pictures and your hand just may have ended up in a funny position? Think about being in front of a camera all the time and how we speak with our hands, right? And I'm gonna destroy you by associating you with a hand sign only, nothing else. That's why I'm saying it just don't make sense to me. I don't know if that's TCA or not. It just don't make sense. It don't seem like him to me.
It don't seem like. And then I noticed one thing. Uh, all of those videos are fairly new, but they old.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a
Yeah.
minute. And then I kept looking at the clips. I'm like, this dude. I mean, all on was Watchmen. But now Watchmen was saying, hey, you came to our house. We sat down. We broke bread. And that right there, I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Because while they was saying, and they was expressing their disappointment, I'm like, hold on. And so what I did, I went off their channel and went onto his channel, and I started looking. I was like, this ain't this brother.
Yeah. And
This
then
is
he
not.
hit on Eshon for a video he did. It just don't make sense. I'm like, this is not how TCA roll. I'm not convinced.
It
I'm
does
not
not
convinced.
make sense. I have to chime in on that because we've been following Eshawn Bergman since when he got on the scene.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be just like, I don't know if y'all familiar with Hezekiah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love
Yeah.
Hezekiah music.
Okay, you familiar with Hezekiah and
Yeah.
Yon and Malik and all these other different people that we listen to and follow. We got Eshawn in the same category. Eshawn and Hezekiah, they make music together. So TCA is if that's him, it like you said, Jacoby, it's unbelievable that he's doing that. And you know what, Eshawn coming on yesterday saying, you know, TCA done for 3 years they've been corresponding back and forth. Good.
Yeah. It don't make sense at all. None. Not based upon what I've heard over the years. And you know, we was on his show. It just don't seem like him to me.
Yeah. Yeah, y'all were just on this show, and then he was on. Oh, I that's the whole thing. I'm like, this is very strange.
Yeah,
this is very strange.
But we know the Prince of the Air is out there now.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget that.
Yeah, but they think we crazy.
Yeah.
See, when you're in that community and you're dealing with different people, you seeing how they move. We know, we see.
Yeah.
Now,
and he did, as Letitia just said, he did hit at the 400 years, right? And but you know, I guess since we don't have no image, he can't say we have hand signs. I'm telling you, I'm not convinced it's him. I don't know what's going on, but it don't make sense.
It don't make sense.
Who got to him? That's what I'm saying. Who got
Karen said, who got to him?
MI6 probably grabbed him, right?
Exactly. And where is our brother at? Is he in some sort of a black site?
That's what I'm thinking.
Where did he what nerd did he strike? Who?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
you know how everything has a personality to it. These montages don't have a personality to it like his other videos. I'm not convinced it's him. Not just me. I'm gonna stand there till he come out and show his face and say, "Yeah, it's me." Right? I'm not gonna be convinced.
Right.
And then it might be AI.
And then it may be AI.
It'll be all digitized with like the little Terminator look in the back.
Yep.
It's really
GPA might have typed this up.
Max Headroom, I care.
yeah.
Wow.
it'll be all digitized and everything. It's me.
This in the same category. If one of you guys would come at each other, we wouldn't believe it. We'll be.
That's what I'm saying. Look, if it happens with us, y'all, if that happens with us, we gone. They took us.
Done. We done. I'm like, what if that happened with us?
Yeah. I've been compromised. I'm out. I'm out. Y'all, I'm turning everything down. I've been burned, family. I've been burned. I'm out.
Yep, I gotta get out. If it happens with us, then we doomed.
And all of a sudden, all Karis is doing is showing montages, no speaking, no jokes, no nothing.
No nothing.
Oh, that's Karis.
Ha 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 ha! Welcome to Covenant Awakening. I know my jokes are funny. They have been said. They said so on Chat GPT. Ha ha! Black people laugh. Ha,
yeah.
Ha.
Yeah. See, that's the thing, man. I mean, since this awakening, they trying any and everything.
Everything.
To shut it down. We need to get these people back in the dumb stupor. And then let them know we ain't going back.
We ain't going back. No way. No, we would have to be on some drugs or them took some of them shots they got out there. What they have to mess with our mind. And we know they trying to do that anyways with these towers and the 5G and everything they got going on. We know they trying to mess with our minds.
Wow.
They really playing mind games out there for real, family. Because there's no way that this many people are this delusional about what's going on. Did y'all see the quick snap where Barack is out there trying to pander for Joe Biden, and Barack is out there pandering for Joe Biden, trying to big up the Hebrew community for Joe Biden, and the entire community saying, I don't curse, but they said F Joe Biden, and Barack like, calm down, and they just F Joe Biden. Barack saying, just listen, let me speak. F Joe Biden. They wouldn't let Barack get a word out sideways. When I tell you it's hilarious, it's a short. Hilarious. These Hebrews saying, man, F Joe Biden, we don't want to hear nothing you gotta say about this. We done broke free of this Democrat delusion that these people are in. Democrat or Republican, really for me. But at least they seeing the Democrats for who they are.
I'll tell you what, I listen to them. if Obama go get him a Popeye's chicken sandwich and he eats TV, I listen to him.
Yep, and give him some free KFC.
Nah.
A bucket of grease, a bucket of poison.
You know, it's happening. It's happening. You got these brothers waking up and they laying these scriptures out, and they did not count. Some of the brothers you may look at as hooded, thuggish, laying down scriptures. They can't handle that. They cannot handle that.
Let me like hold that thought. Let me get Brother Brian on up here. I think he was saying something earlier, and I wanted to get his get what was going on, because he said that his wife was going through some things at the post office, and I know he's over in the Atlanta area. So I'm telling you, this thing is starting to hit the South, and when it hits the South, it's a matter of time before it starts creeping up more north. So shalom, Brother Brian.
Shalom, family. How you doing this? How y'all doing this morning? First time I ever called in on the show. I spoke with you, Brother Karras, several times, and I post on
on the phone. Yeah, this is the
yeah, I
first
post
time calling in. Yep.
Yeah, I post on Teyu's Facebook page. You know, the word of the day constantly. I mean, daily. So let me just make this short and quick. So what happened this morning? My wife, she works for the post office, and a Gentile female came up to her and told her to move the, blank, blank out the way. And she's like, wait a minute, hold on. Don't you see what I'm doing? You know, she was like, I said, you black, move your end self out the way. And she tried to run over her foot with a forklift. Oh. So, so they called and I can barely hear you guys. So if you say anything to me, I can barely hear you. I don't know what's going on with that. But her supervisor told her to call the police. I'm getting dressed and trying to run up there. And she was like, no, the police is already here. They're going to send both of us home. And this is getting real. I just told her yesterday, I need you to go get some bear mace. And I need some mace for my daughter and my granddaughter as well, for them to have this on them at all times.
Wait a minute, brother, did you say she tried to run over her with a forklift?
Yes, she tried to run over her foot with a forklift.
So she worked at the post office?
Yeah, they both work at the post office.
Oh, good gracious. You a millionaire, brother.
So Brother Brian, please support Quest Tuna Africa.
Almost, that most definitely, that. That's without our
501c3.
That's without a shadow of a doubt. Now, my wife had me on speaker when the police pulled up. And this guy, he automatically seemed to be on the other chick's side. It's just by the convo and the way he was presenting himself. And so they asked my wife, did she have anybody that witnessed it? So she had a couple of co-workers who basically stepped in and said, that is exactly what happened. So to make a long story short on that, they're sending both of them home. No arrest, no nothing. And I told her, I said, they're not going to do anything to her.
Bruh.
I'm so angry right now. I'm at my barbershop now, and I can just barely hold my composure, but I am seriously angry.
Brother, I'm trying to take
I'm gonna tell you, you may have to probably close up your barbershop, because if you mess up some lining up somebody's forehead, they got a 45 degree slant, and that fade is looking like a bowl cut, brother.
I'm not giving out any George Jeffersons today.
When you're on them Clippers, man. Oh, my bad. Oh, brother, my bad.
Yeah, but I wanted to share that with you guys.
That's whether it's a forklift or it's a gun. That's a temper.
Right.
That's
right. Actually, if it was, regardless, it's aggravated. It's called
Yeah,
aggravated assault. You know,
that's
you
right.
using something as a weapon. You're brandishing. You know, she used the forklift as a weapon. But I was telling my wife, I said, honey, it looks like it's going to end up. You know, if anything, they're going to drop it down to misdemeanor assault when you even get to that. You know, when it gets to that point,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if your wife went
because
knocked her out back in the
right
day.
now, and my wife is not soft now at all. So she's not, no pushover. Now I live in Metro Atlanta, but my wife works in Covington, Georgia. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that area. So that's country. I'm trying to say the right things. I don't want your channel to get flagged, but you redneckish area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is what's been happening. Do we see the pattern being established here? We just saw this Lake Wales,
Yeah,
Covington.
yeah,
Do
yeah,
you see this pattern being established? This look,
yes.
it's not a game out here, family. It is not
No,
a
it's not.
game. You have to
It's
be.
getting real.
Yep.
Brother, that may be your doorway out of here.
Well, I have a couple of business plans that I'm waiting on right now, which will be my exact doorway out here, and I am going to, support Quest to Unite Africa, most definitely. Either way,
And Tail Ministries.
and most
Put,
definitely, brother, you go. Most
everybody
definitely.
put in what you need. Put in what you need. I need this support. I need that support.
And
Everybody's going up their cash app right now. Look.
if you don't mind, I just want to touch on this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
On the TCA, I was the one posted that out there that TCA is basically hitting at everybody. I posted that on Tayu's page. Now I saw the video from Watchman and his wife, and then I saw one from brother Eshawn, and he was stating that I don't know if anybody saw his video yet, and I think I even posted his video on the comment section and on the Facebook page. But he was stating that years back he's been dealing with TCA for years, and when he basically decided not to come on his show, that an issue was had arose at that particular time with TCA. Now that's what he's saying. I did my whole thing is this: if I have an issue with you, brother Karis, brother Michael, if I have y'all contact information, I'm gonna talk to you one on one. I'm a grown man. I'm 55 years old. We're gonna talk one on one. I'm never gonna put my business in the street. I was raised don't put your business in the street. Now, if you retaliate, initiate it, and you initiate it through the internet streets, then that's the only way I can respond back.
Yeah.
So when all his previous videos before the hit pieces started coming out,
Mm-hmm.
it was always him talking or his face. It was never a montage or just videos that insinuate something. And now that's all it is it insinuates that these people are Freemasons or belong to the occult, but he's never speaking. Right, I'm not convinced it's him. He'll have to prove me wrong. Now, somebody said, somebody in the comments said, yeah, they told him look into your code, but well, he already did a video on us. I mean, either
really?
Yeah, I mean, well, not a hit piece, but we were
okay.
So that they either take down the interview, right, or do a hit piece. Now, I'm not saying I don't expect a hit piece. I already got 100 hit pieces on me already.
I was going to say
me another.
Right? I was going to say you need to expect one next.
Oh yeah, I've been expecting it, right? But here's the thing: you can't hit me with no hand sign. So what are you gonna do?
Right.
You're gonna have to
right.
doctrine. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, be honest with you, it feels like a urban apologist move. The way these videos are happening, it seems like something the urban apologist would do. But once again, I always thought they were agents anyway, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Right. But now us, you know how we talk. We use a lot of hand and body gestures when we communicate. So you can't just say because someone used their hand in that gesture that they actually promoting Satanism. No, I mean because we talk with hand gestures.
Yeah,
we always done that.
I know what you're saying on that, but I think they was just hit on the whole community. That's me. I think it
Right.
was just a hit because if you got the
I agree with you, Mike.
ones, you know, if you got these ones, you got a whole lot of brothers and sisters that listen to your Kobe. You got a whole lot of brothers and sisters that listen to Karis.
Right.
And so when you got a listening band of Hebrews, let's throw a monkey wrench in their plans. Throw up the hand signals and things of that nature. Just like what you said, we do gestures. And now, but if you got those ones that's I'm not gonna say hanging on a thread, but very cautious as to who they listen to, who they follow, then they start to go through the channels now. They start going through channels. Oh, he threw up a sign. Man, I mean, there's plenty of times I sit up here and held my fingers together and think, man, I want
Right. Right.
about no Mason. Man, I mean like, and then man, I'm like, it just that's that I just don't see that being him and attacking all of these brothers and all of them black.
Now, this is what I want to say on that, brother Mike. Have you guys looked at some of his recent exposure videos? Because some of them, there is a voice in the background, and I'm trying to decipher if that's really his voice.
No, because usually when I was listening to the brother, he was always talking. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he always talking. He's always talking. And there were some videos where he has, you know, he's showing his face, you know, and
Right.
things of that nature. But when I think the last time I looked at it, I don't know if he got shut down or what. But it was like, all right, what happened to this brother? I mean, I didn't know what had happened to him. And then all of a sudden, you know, he back up. But when I look at this video, it just wasn't that video I looked at.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of them, I was like, no, something ain't right with this here. It wasn't, and I'm like, no, this is not him. That was my man. I looked at it. This is not him. This brother's always going to say something in these whatever comment. And the way he had all these videos, I ain't gonna say he. The way they had it set up, these videos was cut, and then boom, and he went in on the Watchmen. He had nearby every video about them cut up in one 1 hour thing, and then
Yeah,
kept on
and
showing
he
them
repeated the same images over and over of the same hand
over and over
sign.
again, over and over again.
They
I'm
said
like,
they
wait a minute, it's too
they
repetitious.
it's a
Yep.
real life. They cloned TCA.
Yep.
Mhm.
They cloned T. We just
Just to
have to
have
pray for him. Look, I'm praying for him that whatever is
Oh
going
yeah.
on be be taken care of. That the Most High is protecting him and guiding him because we don't know what's going on. We don't know
no,
what nefarious stuff is always
Yeah.
on out
Pray
there
pray
coming
for him
against us.
because I'm convinced it's not him until I see his face and him speaking on the camera.
yeah.
I'm not convinced it's him.
I mean, now let me ask you something, Jacoba. I mean, this is the thing, and like Sister E said, do we have any type of contact information about this brother? Because I know I know he was on one of your shows. You
We don't
know,
know
I mean, all I
anything
have
yet.
is his email, and I know he's in Scotland. That's all I know. Brother Asaph might know more.
all right.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, shalom,
I
brother
haven't heard
Asaph.
from Shalom, everyone. I don't know where he is. I'm based in London, but if he reaches out to me, I don't mind flying up to Scotland to speak to him. But it's like he's gone off the radar.
Oh, you're
Ah,
sounding very far away, brother Asaph.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I'm using noise cancelling headphones because I'm out and about and walking, and there's
Oh
tons
yeah.
of traffic.
okay.
Yeah, it's terrible. You know, I'm surprised that a hit piece has been done on all these people, but I don't think it's him. I think he's been gotten to, or someone's taken over his channel.
Yes.
I think it's so too. I think somebody probably hacked his channel, or but even if your channel's hacked, usually you'll respond and and
Definitely.
try to have something through some sort of avenues, or I don't know.
Unless you're in the black site.
That's
Yeah,
exactly.
another issue is that we have not got the support over here in Europe and the UK as we do in our community in the United States, and that plays a significant part in the strengthening of our brothers and sisters in the diaspora over here. I interact probably more with the diaspora in the United States and on the continent than probably my own assembly, which through work I only make occasional appearances and then they ask me to teach. But people have heard me through Teo and through Brother Caris and through the other lines that have been and channels that I've been associated with. And therefore they've come to know that I know a little bit about the Torah, and I'm very active in the community on the continent. But otherwise, we have no support.
All right.
So I want to say something right quick, because people's talking about the hand signs. Y'all convict somebody off of a few hand signs in the video, I would not want you on my jury. You have to have more than evidence of a few hand signs that people can easily mistakenly do in 1 or 2 videos. Something wrong with y'all. Y'all crazy and not your cotton picking mind. You gonna convict a group of people for some hand signs that may have just happenstance. He takes 1 or 2 videos and y'all convict people. Y'all silly.
And you better not be deaf.
Hit him with it. Hit him with it. Hit him with it. That's facts. Hit him with it.
Deaf. Oh, you throwing up a whole lot of signs of you deaf. That's how you communicate. So I mean, you Kobe, he's right. You cannot sit here. I mean, it's called forward thinking. We do gestures. Period. We do gestures.
Mike done said you bet not be deaf. Oh my goodness! I almost fell out my chair. I almost fell out my chair. Oh my goodness!
Can I chime in momentarily? I saw Pastor. He had Pastor Omar on there. Now, my wife and I visited Pastor Omar's church about 3 years ago, and where we had got baptized at that particular time. And Pastor Omar started a Wednesday night Bible study here in Metro Atlanta, and he stated that when he was in college, that he was in a fraternity, but he denounced all of that stuff. But what I don't say TCA, but what that video posted about Pastor Omar was the guy had on a purple shirt, and the purple shirt, I don't know what frat or whatever that represents.
Q dogs.
So he didn't show a hand sign. It was the purple shirt. That's so childish.
So look, Crystal says, suppose you find out that it is true, then what? Then it's true. Until then, give me the benefit of the doubt. Give them the benefit of the doubt. You can't convict people off of a few snippets of a video. See,
right.
This is why we can't unite, right? Y'all will be quick soon as somebody say something about somebody else, and y'all be ready to jump on them and stuff like that. I'm like, there's no evidence. A few montages of a video or 2 with some hand signs, that is not evidence. That's why I say I would hate y'all be on my jury. I'd go to jail.
Yeah, man.
Well, I've got it in the back a few times for being too close to tail as well. Several times.
That's the thing we got to get away from. We see stuff on a video, and just like you can text somebody. You can text somebody and say, "Oh, you crazy," and somebody can take offense to that. You just and I mean, they put an emotion on a text. They put emotions on a video that's already suspicious. And now, and then let's reverse her comment or the person comment. Let's just say we find out, hey, YouTube got hacked, AI hopped in it, and that was all AI. Then you're gonna be looking like I ain't gonna say a fool. How can I say that? Well, you will be looking. I'm trying to figure out a good word for it.
Go ahead, Mike. Just when you trying to break those things down too much, don't stop the momentum.
You're gonna look foolish. You done sit up here and judge the brother based upon something you seen on the video. Come to find out the video was altered.
Yep.
Now you now this is the stuff that you look at. You got to take things. It's best if you take things with a grain of salt. If the brother said that, yeah, he wrong. But I mean, this is a video. There's no face and there's no voice with this here. Anybody could have done that.
So here's the thing: if I take a few clips from one or two videos and I play it for over an hour, which is what he did, right, to accuse the watchman them of being in the occult, right? That is silly. And for people to believe that because of one or two videos that he took and played over and over, and then there's this misassociation by showing entertainers and others doing the same type of hand sign, but you can't convict somebody because this misassociation between what the entertainers do and an Israelite who may have mishappenly put their hands together like that. Y'all say, well, it's not that easy to form those hand signs. Yeah, but sometimes it happens. You don't see it in all their videos, do you? You know, I'm not. We got to stop this stuff, man. Y'all ready to convict people when there's no evidence?
How is truth established? Truth is established by 2 or 3 witnesses, correct? So say what now?
I said that's what the word says.
That's what the word says. And I mean, we're jumping out the window on stuff, and we haven't even established truth on this yet.
Yeah.
And people just convicting other people. I mean, this whole movement is going to take, honestly, it's going to just take a miracle from the Most High, because our people is all over the place.
They are. And look, like somebody said, he even put a picture of Apostle Curtis with his hands like, I'm like, really? Come on, you cannot convict people off of a single photo of a hand gesture. Stop it.
Apostle Curtis Lewis, the one who's on YouTube.
I vouch for Apostle Curtis.
Me too.
No.
I call him Apostle Mic Drop because of his some of his videos. I mean, he just coming straight forward with it. Wow.
All Apostle talks about is living righteous, and y'all say he put a cult with the hand signs. Come on now.
And all it takes is one video, and it did. But the good thing about it is we're talking about it. Now we give an insight a little bit further, even though we have not spoken with the brother. But at the same time, you cannot sit up here and call this brother wrong, and especially when he didn't do it. And now you come to find out it was by some other means. I mean, you standing there, and you're making all these. Now, Watchmen, one thing I liked about them, now they did seem very hurt. They did.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, because they said, hey, we was like, from my understanding from the video, I think he came to that, he visited with them or something, or did interviews with them and things. And like they were saying, hey, if this was a problem, why didn't you come to us? I mean, and I understand what they were saying. I do. But at the same time, now let's fall back. I mean, at least I feel bad. And I'm looking, no, this don't.
Let me ask y'all something. Because there's one thing I know some people have and some people don't. It's called spiritual discernment, right? You should be able to discern that Watchman and his wife are not part of the occult, are not part of Freemasonry. Spiritual discernment will tell you that, right? I mean, some of y'all just don't have it.
Absolutely right. Right, spiritual discernment. Let me ask y'all something. So is it still okay for us Hebrews to do power to the people, or is that an occult side? Can we still throw up the fish?
Boy, I'm not even trying to get into that one.
I'm just trying to say.
Go there.
What does that sound? I mean, besides power to the people, what else would it be?
Well, actually, they associated that with Egypt. That was
my goodness.
Believe it or not, yeah, that's just like when they did the kneeling and and raised their fist.
Let me show y'all something about. Let me show y'all something right quick about how those videos have been destroying people's lives. So in one of the videos, right, he showed Benya Israel, right? And Benya was in his little African garb with his hat on.
Right.
And he showed a Freemason with a hat on, and then he showed Benya with his hat on, and he had the arrow pointed at the hat to associate Benya with the Freemasonry. And if anybody knows, what he was wearing was an African Yoruba type of outfit. See, this is the stuff I'm talking about. Some of y'all, anyway, I ain't gonna say no.
No, you're going to say it?
Please do. I mean, it need to be said.
Yeah, I give Jacob, I give you permission to state what you know in the state, because I'm wholeheartedly behind you on that one. This, you don't have to worry about tact on that one, because this is the truth.
Yeah, look, I'm not trying to fight for nobody, but I'm about truth and fairness, right? Because guess what? A lot of the people I'm talking about, I don't agree on them with some doctrine, right? Some things we agree on, some things we don't, right? And some people like me, some people don't. But the truth is the truth. Y'all know me and Brian Dalton don't get along, but I'm not going to say Ron Dalton a Freemason. He's not, right? Once again, spiritual discernment needs to be used, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, you ain't lying about that now, because there was an incident. I'm like, no, bro, I can't get down with what you're doing. I'm like, no. But the brother has pertinent information concerning us. I still respect him for that. There's some other things I don't agree with, but it's not stopping my faith with this brother. Now, if the brother's in trouble, I'm supposed to be there to help him out. And that's board.
I don't agree. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem, bro. But that's across the board. And see now, I mean, who is it? We Woke. I don't too much agree with a lot of stuff he do. But if that brother's in trouble, I'm up under law to assist my brother. Period. But we are quick to break off, cut off. Oh no, he threw up a gesture and he just blew his nose. That's all he, so I mean, that's how silly it sounds, bro. I mean,
it's the truth. It's the
we
truth.
do jesters. We do jesters, and you all taking it. Some of us are taking this stuff beyond belief, and especially if it is some gestures that has been done. Trust and believe. It ain't gonna be no one gesture. Now, when you see that little gesture some of these singers did when they take a picture of and they got their hand above their head, I can understand that. But it's still not for me to judge. Now, me, if I see something like that and it's a singer, I don't too much get down with that. I mean, I kind of cut your music off, because now you're going down a path I'm not even trying to go down that path. That's just me. Now, Yah is your judge. Yah is your judge. But when you get these brothers on this channel that's speaking truth, and that brother may have the Bible in one hand and have his other hand up, and he's trying to emphasize a particular scripture, and he may throw something up, and then he got an arrow pointing at it, that's just to throw you off. You done forgot the whole meaning of the scripture. All you was doing looking at the fingers. See how small something can change your whole line of thinking? You're looking at a small gesture of a finger when all he was doing just emphasizing by means of gesture of the scripture that he was trying to get out in order to keep you awake. We got to start looking at that. These small things, a lot of these gestures, we do them through our livelihood. It's just gestures. But this stuff is this conversation needed to happen. It needed to happen. And it's going to get out there. Now you're going to have brothers and sisters, they're going to listen to what Teo said. You know what? Now Teo said this about this here. You know, it is strange. The brothers, there's no voice on, and you look at the clips. These clips look suspicious. Boom. I mean, and we move on. I mean, like what now? I mean, I follow Gold Black at times. I know that I said this brother ain't been on in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
I look when Teo, it was when I tell you was sick. I'm like, man, where's Teo at? See, this is discernment, because you know this brother don't go that long without saying something. That's a problem. That's the problem. When we found out he was sick. See, this is what a community do. You draw together. You know a person's footstep. You know his footstep. You know now he don't usually be off. You know he don't be out this long, and so then that's when the community starts to worry or think, hey, where is he at? You know what's going on? And then just so happened, I believe that day he popped on the channel. He told us he was sick and everything. Now we understand. But everybody, if you always on these channels, you will know the habits of your brothers and sisters. Look at the brother. Look at his habit. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. You know everything is built up against us. Period. Everything is built up against us. And whatever they're trying their best to do, they're going to do it. Hey, we got AI. Yeah, let's use that. But when they start to realize AI don't work with black people no more, we got to find something totally different. They didn't peep that. They know they people. And then what's killing about it, we're going to take AI out of the picture. These people got spiritual discernment. Now, how in the world are we going to attack them? Well, we got to put some UFOs in the sky now.
Yep.
What?
Man.
In order, we know their moves, bro. We know them better than they know themselves. That's the thing.
I'm gonna tell you that the feel I get from those videos is like how Abu moves, right? That's what it feels like, and I believe Abu's an agent personally, but that's just my 2 cents.
Man, there's so much stuff out here. I don't put nothing past this system any longer. There's nothing I don't put past it. I'm serious. If they right here and they got they cloning stuff underground, I can believe it. These people are trying their best to kill God so they can live. They're trying their very best. And the only people that they can get to the Elohim, I ain't gonna say that. Oh, we got to get to these black people. That's it. We're the closest thing to him. And they know this. Yahshua? What? Yeah. That bloodline, we connected to him. They know this. Their God is the one that's here now. That's causing this all of this hoorah. You got a brother, 70-year-old getting slammed to the ground. You got this brother here, wife, and some other Gentile lady trying to run over to with a forklift. They know who we are. He knows, and he knows for a fact. My days are dwindling down. I'm down. Hajatan is down to hours. He's down to hours.
You see his kingdom crumbling apart worldwide. His worldwide kingdom is crumbling apart. Absolutely.
Dude, this conversation needed to happen.
That's why they're attacking Jacob. That's why, because his kingdom is down, is dwindling. So what do? What does the wicked do? They ramp up the attack. So that's why what's going on with TCA and what all you guys are saying, we have to pray. We really have to pray, because really that's the spiritual warfare that's going on with the community, because what happened is that just broke up a whole lot of people's focus on what the real is. The real deal is that we still have to stay focused on who we are and what our mission is to the kingdom, because these things are coming up against us to cause us to go back and divide and fall. Oh, we can't trust this one. Oh, we can't trust that one. No, we cannot do it. Karis, we just went through that. We just went through that. We just had to battle our way through that. That was spiritual warfare, what we went through. And it took all of us to wake up and say, hey, this thing is bringing separation here. between us and the community. We got to nip this now. And now I can feel it. You like you cover said that discernment. I can feel that we're back together. We're pulling back together. We know these are gonna come. What did it say? No weapon formed against us shall prosper. These are weapons formed by the wicked one to keep us from prospering.
Mm-hmm.
We have no proof on what happened with TCA. We don't know yet. And we have people out here saying, oh, what if it's true? What if it's true? You don't even know. You haven't seen his face. He haven't even came back out yet. So let's hold our horses and not be so quick to tear down Judah. We ain't tore up enough. We
Mm-hmm.
ain't tore up enough.
Mm.
85% of us, our men are in prison and incarcerated, not there to raise their sons. All this is done by design.
Mm-hmm.
85% of our female who are mothers are out in the streets with their daughters, with their ass hanging out.
Yeah.
Come on, wake up. We got enough divide. Look at our youth. Death on death, crime
Mm.
on crime.
Mm.
Look at us. We ragging and tore up enough. As soon as a little bit come out, here y'all come. Running to do some more bashing. You got dang on Hebrews.
Yeah.
You
Right.
need a whipping sometimes.
Mm.
Let's stick together. Let's, like with Mr. Ken and the brother that's on the line with his wife at the post office. Let's try sticking together. Every other nation will stick together and got a community to go to. Them
Mm-hmm.
Mexicans ain't gonna fall out over your tail.
Mm-mm.
Them Chinese ain't gonna fall out over your tail. You still gonna support them even though you going there to buy hair and nails. They talking about you and treating you bad and was beating up our women. But you Hebrews are still in there buying it, or won't go buy it from a black person, but you'll go there. Look at all the other nations will stick together to the end. Gentiles gonna stick together and they gonna do like Abraham Lincoln and George Washington. They going to their grave with it. But not
Mm-hmm.
you Gentile. I mean, not you Hebrews. Soon as you hear it, here you go marching. Go sit down somewhere. Go sit y'all tail down somewhere. You're quick to go running around behind foolishness.
Mm.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Sister Bay. Yeah, because we got to wrap this on up. We got some things to do this morning. Um, I'm gonna say this, Brother Yakoba, Sister Betty, then Brother Michael, if y'all want to give closing. This has been honestly a great a great discussion. I didn't know where it was gonna go, but the end of the thievery, we're seeing it. Final
Sure.
thoughts.
Yeah, so I just want to say this. You need more evidence than that to convict a group of people. You can't just have montages and say people in the occult, they worship the devil, all this foolishness. I'm telling you, like I said, I'm not convinced in TCA until I see his face and him talking and moving. I'm not convinced it's him. It don't feel like him. So you need some spiritual discernment. And if you don't have it, ask of Yah. So that's all I got to say. Peace and blessings. Appreciate it, Brother Karras and Pan.
Now, thank you, Brother Yakoba, for coming on because that was we started different and then we ended up with this. Yeah, Sister Betty, for straight out from Lake Wales. Final comments, and we're gonna pray for Brother Ken, for strength to make sure that he is strengthened, him and his family. So let me do that real quick. Father Yah,
Yes.
through your son Yahushua Hamashiach, Father, we come to you as a people. We know that we're unclean, so we ask that you cover us under the blood of your son Yahusha, that we can come to you today and ask for your mercy and your grace, because we are a people that's being targeted right now, at this very hour, at this very moment. Father, protect Mr. Ken, protect Brian's wife, and protect all of our other family members, your people, your children, Father, that's going through these struggles right now, through these altercations right now. We pray, Father, for their safety because they know that their time is short. Father, continue to strengthen us as a people to endure until the end. This we ask in your awesome and mighty name, Yahushua HaMashiach. Amen.
Hallelujah, Brother Carrie. Hallelujah. We appreciate that this down here in Polk County. The prayers needed all over the panel, all throughout
Yes.
our people. That prayer was needed because we need the covering. We need Yahushua HaMashiach to place that covering all around us, that hedge of protection, because we're going through some bad days. And
Mm-hmm.
I just want to thank the panel, Brother Michael Yacoba, and the other brother that's on here for having me on the panel tonight. And I just pray that we continue to just try to stick together, hold it together. Let's not
Absolutely.
fall out with each other over one little stone. Like the brother said, we need more than just one little montage of videos to convict TCA because he has done some wonderful documents. Even Ishan was saying, when he was doing, responding, he was saying he became a follower of TCA because he loved the way he did his documents.
Absolutely.
Documentaries. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why he joined to him. So something led him to that brother. So we cannot allow Hasatan to come in our camp. We cannot allow it. We need to go ahead and decree and declare right now today that we will not allow that to come up against our brother, and we join to it. I'm not going to join to it. Like Caris, that what came up before. I'm not bringing it back up. But
Mm-hmm.
look, we had to separate ourselves from it. We all saw it. It took us a little bit longer than you and Michael, but we saw some of what was going on. And we
Mm-hmm.
knew it couldn't have been sent from Yah for us to be falling apart like that. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
no. No, we recognized what it was. The spirit. It was that spirit, that what it was. It was a spirit coming up against us.
Yes.
And through our brother also. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
just praying now that he even go back and pray and look at how things was transpiring with him and all of us. It
Yes.
was him against all of us, and we're all saying, "Look, we love you. We still love you, and we still want you on the team. But can you back up and just look at what it is? Just try to understand what we're saying." But then when he said, I don't need neither one of y'all to tell me nothing at all. I can't hear neither one of y'all. And see, that was my cue. That was my cue there.
Mm-hmm.
Everything y'all had said before, I was listening, but still have some patience, love and patience. But then when that was said, it felt like it was coming from another entity, like that was
Mm-hmm.
coming from somewhere else. Like, who is that in there talking? Is that
Mm-hmm.
you talking, or is that something else talking through you? And I felt that spirit that was dealing with them was another spirit. It wasn't the spirit that we met in the beginning.
Absolutely.
That's how
Absolutely.
I. That's what I felt. That was my discernment.
Mm-hmm.
That was my discernment because I felt like when we first had the meeting, they were talking like, okay,
You and our sister
with you
Betty.
guys, get back
Yeah.
on board. But then the second meeting, that went out the window.
Mm-hmm.
That went totally out the window. Like, what? What? Okay. So what I'm saying is the same patience we had there, we're gonna have the same patience in this community. If TCA come out and say, I said it, I did it, but blah blah blah, that's a whole different picture. But until
Mm-hmm.
then, we gotta stay on ship. We ain't jumping board.
Mm-hmm.
And I want us to do that for all of our brothers and sisters, all of Judah, all the Judahs that's awakened, and the Judahs that are still asleep. We
Yes.
still have to be patient because none of us even woke up at the same time. If you
Mm-hmm.
question all of us and got our testimony of when we woke up and what made us wake up, we all got a different time and we all got a different story. So we just have to stay on board with each other no matter what. And if we fall out, we're going to try to pray you back into the fold. Thank you,
Hallelujah.
family.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Sister Betty. If you to the back. Brother Mike.
Yeah,
Final comments. You gotta make it short because we got some meetings and
yeah. You know,
uh,
with that, let's just say hypothetically speaking that the brother did put it out. He sanctioned that.
Mm-hmm.
And but with all of this hoorah, he may see something. Let's just say, and we will give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's say hypothetically he said, yeah, I put that out, but hearing what the brothers and sisters said, I do apologize. Boom, 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 boom. We move on. We move on. I mean, because not one of you all out there is without sin.
Mm-hmm.
Not one. But we judge hard. We
Mm-hmm.
judge like, oh no, let's get the stone and let's start cracking up some skulls. And that's what we do. We need to get away from that. We need to get away from that with the quickness. When Yah said he loves these people, he loved Israel. And I think that's something we really need to take to heart deeply. Because if he said he loves these people, although we're being disciplined, he means it. He said, you attack these people, it's like you taking your finger and poking him in the eye. That's how much love he has for us, his people. So now, if we want to judge, you better be very cautious how you judge, because now, then you coming against you bringing Yah into your conversation, and he go pull up your whole history.
Absolutely.
He will pull up your whole history. So I mean, let's just continue to encourage one another to always stay on the watch. We know what's happening. We are up under attack. That's one thing we need to be mindful of. And with Brother Brian, man, you have my prayers. I hope everything work out for you and your wife.
Yes.
Things of that nature. And our brother Ken, hope he gets better. But brothers and sisters, we ain't seen nothing yet. It's about to
Absolutely.
it's about to get turned up a whole lot more.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the thing.
Absolutely.
And I give it back to you, Karis, on that.
All right. Thank you, Brother Mike. No, absolutely. Look, it's going from bad to worse. And our people need to stay vigilant. We need to be mindful, be aware in every situation and circumstance. Because why? Because if you're being confronted in those situations and circumstances, best believe the enemy is trying to come after you in some way. But that's okay, because at the end of the day, the Most High is our strength. He is our shield. He's our defense. He's our tower. Generally speaking, I'd be reading out of Psalms today. But yeah, but we needed to get this on deck, because this is the end of the thievery. It's the end of the thievery, not just the thievery of precious metals, but it's the thievery of our heritage, the thievery of who we are, the thievery of our resources that's been stripped. And when you're understanding the tactics of the thief and you're exposing the tactics of the thief, then guess what? Their thieving will stop. Hallelujah. Well, I'm not going to lie. This actually went down as a really good panel. Really great discussion. Hallelujah. Please share this video, like, share, subscribe. Gentiles, like, share, subscribe. Donate to Quest Unite Africa. Visiting questuniteafrica.org. Gentiles, yeah, I'm talking to you. It's not going to buy your salvation, but it definitely helps out a great cause. Hallelujah. Oh, so with that, family, most high willing, I'll be back on tomorrow, and then we have our Quest Unite Africa discussion on Friday. So, yeah, we have this is kind of an action-packed week, because we haven't even really discussed bricks. Oh my goodness. Hallelujah. So with that said, family, most high willing, I will be back on tomorrow. And with that, shalom, salama, siemi, Shalom. Peace and blessings. Yasharel.